Is that your name?
The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty.
Wow.
He went crazy. He jumped over the thing.
He jumped? Let me see. Let me see.
He jumped over.
Can he do that?
I don't know.
The judge's like, you order in the court. We're going to hold Mr. Rakim in contempt. Yes, sir. We back. That was aggressive.
Every time. Always.
Boy got gunpowder in his throat. Did you hear that? It was crazy.
How'd it get there, man?
How'd it get there?
We got
swallowed it.
Hey, whoa. Oh, all right.
You
What?
guys
It's
are-
gunpowder.
All right.
You guys are wild.
All right, cool.
What?
I just asked a question. That's all I
No,
did.
like
He wild. He wants swallow gunpowder.
the way that his mind goes,
The way his
that
mind
your
works
mind
is
goes.
crazy.
I just asked
where
questions.
we are.
Like, where did the gayness come
I
from
can't.
and
Whoa.
gunpowder in
You
the
said
throat?
gay, bro. I just
Yeah.
asked a question.
Oh,
He can't be gay?
gaslighting.
What's wrong with that?
Gay.
Love that for him.
Gay.
It ain't
seeing
June,
everybody.
but we in
Hey.
this bitch.
Good seeing everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marlon.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
Norm got the booty critis, man.
Got it.
Another week of that booty critis. It's sweeping the nation.
Yeah, it is.
Keep
Sweet.
telling that boy, eat some Metamucil, you know what I'm saying?
I did that.
Little Horlicks, some tea, some Milo.
Wait, what is Metamucil?
Metamucil is
I
for
don't think I've ever
constipation.
had it.
It's like
Oh.
fiber.
It's fiber,
It's
yeah.
fiber
Oh,
for
okay.
constipation.
Concentrated fiber.
Maybe I need to give that to Nola.
That's how we starting off with baby shit. That's what we starting off with.
Consult a pediatrician.
That lovely and very familiar voice you guys are hearing is none other than our leading.
Da-da-da-dum.
Once again, I said leading, reoccurring guest, the number one guest of the Extra Gravy podcast, and our political pundit. Gabe is in the building. Uncle Gabe is here.
Honored, appreciative. Good to see everybody.
He's walking without his cane today. It's a good sign.
Yes, have you seen the sidewalks?
Touche.
I almost bust my ass outside.
My accessibility device.
Listen.
Yeah, there.
Yeah,
It's so
just-
weird. It
it's
was like
terrible.
Yeah.
done,
slipping and
and
shit
then
like
all
that.
of a sudden it was like this.
Yeah,
It was just
it's
like,
like-
I'm like, what the hell?
Crazy.
Everybody's walking like
You
single
actually
file.
have to have good ankles to walk in Toronto in the winter.
Yo.
Like when it's snowing like this, if you guys are not, for those who are not from Toronto, we've had the most tumultuous week of snow we've seen in
Oh my God.
maybe a decade. Honestly, there was more
Tremendous.
snow in the last week than we had all of last year combined.
Yep.
So it is. We got about what 67 centimeters of snow.
Combined about.
Hey man, and it snowed today a
America,
little.
I know
so,
y'all don't know centimeters. That's what is that in inches?
like
What's that in
thir-
meters?
It was like 26
Damn.
inches,
God
so 2
damn.
feet, I guess.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like across Ontario, like Ottawa got smacked, even Montreal. Montreal got like feet of
Everywhere.
Jesus, man.
Everywhere got slapped
It was
up.
bad.
It
Shoveling
was
and shit.
nasty, bro. My car got stuck, and then Triz came to pick up something in my house. His car got stuck. We had to shovel him out for 20 minutes. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, but it was kind of cool seeing like we driving down entire like streets and the whole streets outside shoveling at the same time. Like,
That's what you like,
it
the
reminded me
community.
of like the blackout in a way, like in a weird way. It reminded me of the blackout.
Do you
blackout
remember the
happened
blackout?
in 2002. How
yeah,
old
yeah.
were you?
Oh, yeah,
You were, like,
04.
I remember,
Four?
yeah, we
Yeah.
made rice on the barbecue.
you were like what, a
You
year and a
made
half?
rice on the barbecue.
made rice on the barbecue,
That's
bro.
How old were
crazy.
you?
In 04?
You were 7.
No, 04 I was what, 9, right? Yeah.
Really?
We're same year, no?
95?
95? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gang.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I was there, man.
Fair
I was
enough.
outside, baby.
Fair enough. I was outside. I think we all were.
Yeah, we definitely
By
were.
force, our houses were hot. We were
was,
all
man.
outside.
It was an interesting
But
time.
yeah, no, a lot of snow, man. A lot
You
of
know
snow.
what? There's like a cost benefit. Like too much snow, the feeling of being out shoveling with the community is like it's not fun anymore. It just
No.
feels like we're all in a mine.
Well, you know, because we pay so much in taxes, we expect our government to
Talk about it.
kind of plow
That's you, big dog.
and handle that. So
City-
what happens
city-
when
city
city
planning's not.
planning is
It's not my jurisdiction, city planning.
But you have
But
opinions.
I will make a plug.
You do have opinions.
There is a lot of conversation about the mayor, Olivia Chow.
Yeah.
No affiliation.
Property taxes?
About property taxes.
Yeah.
About, she's hiked the property taxes if you own a home. Your monthly payment, allotted over the year, is going up by 6.9%. That's,
By 6.9%?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's pricey. It's pricey.
What is it? Where is it going?
Well, it goes to, all of the things the city does. You know how the TTC is always like, I ain't got no money for y'all. You got to jack up the fare. Well, that helps to stabilize the fare, so at least it doesn't go to everybody else.
Okay.
And at least it makes, the support for the people who are on the TTC who are not traveling to one destination or another, who are probably homeless, probably need some more wraparound supports.
How long would that last, though?
Well, it helps pay for it. So, that's
For
why
how
you tax
long?
it. Well, as long as it goes forward. That's what taxes are.
Yeah,
It's not like a temporary
Talk to
tax.
him.
It's
Okay, so it's
forever.
gonna stay. Oh, so it's a stay.
So it's
because we've had
sustainable.
temporary stuff like what? Didn't the tax break just end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
GST.
Temporary tax break just end.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're back to regular shit.
It's a little different, but what
Yeah.
listen, long story less long, essentially it pays for the stuff that makes everything a little bit more sustainable. Like sidewalks. Sometimes the city doesn't have the money to pay for the exact plow. Like, how the plow that has that extra arm that cuts out from
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oh,
driveway?
yeah.
We
that
saw
goes
that.
up. Yeah.
Right now, Mississauga is like trying to they've been begging to make the money for that. And usually if you live out in Mississauga, they don't really plow that part of your driveway. The mayor right now is making a big push to pay for that. And you got to allocate money. She right now is going to war with the police to be like, your budget's a little high.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend the money somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
starting podcasts and shit. What are they doing?
exactly. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So money like that helps us spread it for other resources.
The cop
Gotcha.
podcast.
Nobody's fucking with
Is
you.
it
Has
still
anybody
going?
listened to it yet?
Is it still going?
You've
I
listened
never
to
tuned
it?
in, bro. He's on it, bro. We got him.
I'm not making.
You're
a
not
comment.
subscribed?
I'm not making a comment on the Toronto Police's
Got it.
podcast situation.
See, he knows what they
Hey,
listen
he's tapped
to.
into federal.
He knows what they listen to. I'm
I
scared.
do think you should Google it and review what they talk about and how they talk about
Form
some
your
of
own
their
opinion?
conduct.
So how would you have set up a perimeter around Kendrick at the Super Bowl? Like, what are they talking about?
Classic trash. Classic trash.
Are you wearing a vest? You wearing a vest? What are we doing? That's too much, man.
It's not that.
Well, we got the elections coming up on the 27th.
Correct.
Next week.
27th.
Correct.
You need to vote.
I don't know if I can ask you which candidate you were leaning towards.
Answer correctly.
I'll tell you here's what I would say. I will say that I am not voting for Doug Ford.
Okay.
Stay on the podcast.
This should not be like a cheerable opinion.
It should
be like
it should.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's life.
yeah.
That's life.
But I'm gonna talk to camera.
This is where we're at now. Camera? Can we get his camera?
Folks, think about life.
You're not looking at
7
the
years
camera.
ago.
Yeah, you're
I'm looking
There you
at I'm looking at that
You said
camera.
you're
That's
gonna talk to
your
the camera.
I'm
Look
looking
this
at
one.
this
That's yours.
one,
This is your
this
camera right
one.
here. Oh,
This one
okay,
right
the
here.
other one. The smaller one to the
Okay.
right. There you go.
The red
Yeah.
There we go.
Go ahead.
It's been a long time, guys. I haven't talked to you.
Yes.
You haven't really talked. I haven't really been reaching out.
No.
But now I'm
Deadbeat.
talking to you. Hey, listen, it happens to the best of us, guys. But listen, like everybody else's, at least I showed up.
Facts.
And I'm here to tell you, be smart. Don't be stupid.
Please.
When somebody's really trying to push an idea like a tunnel under the 401?
Can we talk about this tunnel, man?
Fire, burn that rascal.
Can we talk about this
I won't
$100
say-
billion tunnel?
I won't say whether it's a
$100
good or bad idea, but does it make sense?
You know what I do like? I like that he said it.
Listen, I love the idea.
You got all of Northern Ontario that doesn't give a fuck
At all.
about this tunnel.
At all.
Yeah.
And us, who don't give a fuck about this tunnel. So it was like, whenever he says something super wrong, I'm like, yes,
You gotta ask
keep
yourself.
talking.
You gotta ask yourself
Yeah,
why.
but like Trump keeps talking and Trump still got elected.
Trump's better. He's charismatic.
Yes, that's the thing. But nobody asked, hey, that's a great idea. I'll vote for that. Because the
Yeah.
tunnel under the 401 at face value without being critical about it, so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe more lanes. Maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But then you stop. Does that make fucking sense? But nobody stops and asks that often.
Let's bottleneck the city.
Oh, let's even take an even more controversial thing like harm reduction. Being able to, instead of launching people off into forcible care, you know, you kind of help people who are addicted to drugs and be like, all right, hey, I'm gonna give you some interim drugs. I mean, you know, I'm gonna try
Safe
to guide
injection
safe
sites.
injection sites to like. Now, if you take all those away and you're like, those are bad, those are harming communities. That sounds like at face value. If you have concerns about how it's being administered, sounds like a good idea. Hey, you're gonna take some of that away. It seems like it's being unregulated. I'm a little afraid. Maybe somebody's been even shot outside of your home. That's very concerning.
Yeah.
And then you take that away. Then you're like, yeah, that's good. I'm glad they got it. Where are the people gonna go? Because nobody maybe thinks
Your
second. You see. So now,
And then they have easier access to alcohol
one
as
person
well.
getting shot. Now it's
Right.
like
Multiple
five people getting shot.
Yep.
Everywhere's an
And they're
injection
drunk
site.
while they're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
With the needle in the arm. That's
And there's
crazy.
even more
With the
issues that
needle.
spin
Fucking
out of
scallion bums. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
But even
That was aggressive.
That was
listen,
him. That was him.
even
These
at
dirty
best, no matter what it is, let's even say like funding towards healthcare. Have you been to a hospital lately?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You know,
Thank
it's been
God.
quite a
I
wait
didn't even
time.
know you went to
Not the
hospital.
quickest place to
It's
be.
not. It's
No,
not. It's not like
not
you're going
at
to a
all.
grocery store.
No.
And you wonder, surely it was better once upon a time, wasn't it? I don't know if it was it was great. I ain't gonna say it was the world standard as maybe we hope to be, but you know, this maybe feels like we've been under resourced. And then you maybe, you know, talk to the people who actually do these jobs, and they're like, man, we strapped.
Man, kill me.
We are. We got through COVID, and we were supposed to get this, but you know, some
got
of
nothing.
people's fund, like they stopped
Tragic,
people's
man.
wages, they capped them, they had to go fight the government for money back. What are we doing this for?
Look at the dude that opened a clinic in, where's it, Durham? And had a line, a 3-4 hour line
lineup for a
down the
family
road for a
doctor.
family doctor.
It was
Does
like
that
first
make
come.
sense?
They're lining up like it was for
first
Jays, bro.
serve. Literally first come first
It's
serve.
like it was for Jays. Like you thought the Sevens got released, nigga. It was crazy.
And
in the
because
snowstorm.
because the
so
province
sad.
hasn't supported very like smaller community like hospitals and healthcare and kind of
Yeah.
like made sure those things are running bare minimum shit.
And they don't make sure that they're running efficiently. Why am I going to the doctor and still seeing folders? Why are very highly sensitive information still being faxed in the year of 2025?
Because I feel like it's safer.
You know, interestingly enough, not to go on a tangent, faxing is technically more safer than being
It
online.
is safer,
unfortunately,
but
but
there
the
are-
actual question is, why are we not spending money on the cybersecurity that actually makes that safe?
And makes things more streamlined, makes things easier, quicker for people to get. Like it's just to me, it's
easier.
common sense.
Yo, you know what's crazy is that I used to have braces, right? I just had this thought about
You
the
had braces?
folders. Yeah, I did have a long time ago.
How old were you?
Grade 5
Okay.
until
Good time to get braces.
Perfect
Good time to
time.
get
yeah,
braces.
grade 5 until the
Perfect
first
time.
month of grade 9. So nobody knew.
Shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
Ugly duckling to the
It
to the
came out different. High
swan.
You
school.
just showed up, you're like, who's that girl?
Because at
You
that
can't stop
point,
smiling
I
and
literally
shit?
got them off in like end of September or October. So it's like nobody knew. Nobody really
had
knew.
the
Just in time for picture day too.
I had the
Yeah.
headgear when I was younger. yeah.
You had the
Yeah.
Headgear?
Which
Wow.
The like headgear that you have
You
around.
put the whole shit around. Yeah, my girl had it
I
too.
only had to wear it like at home.
Remember The Simpsons when
stuff,
Lisa had the
but-
headgear? Lisa needs
Vaguely.
braces, and she had that.
I remember that.
No.
That's tough. I remember Lisa needs braces. I remember that.
tightening. Did
It was like a
did
song.
they tighten
Yeah.
it from up
These
here, or
braces,
did they
dental
like tighten
plan.
it from?
So it was like something that you put in. It was kind of like a retainer that
Kinda
went around,
retainerish, yeah.
and then it had like this little like the straps. So if I
Jesus.
wore a hat, like you'd be able
Jesus.
to cover it or whatever, but like you'd still see the front of
Before
it.
high school is perfect for that. My
yeah,
God.
I can't remember. I think
Was it
I
made out of
slept with
metal?
it. Yeah, it was metal.
You rock that out in
fuck?
high school. Niggas are calling you Magneto, all types of
What?
shit. It's fucking wild.
No, but like I didn't have to wear it in the daytime. I didn't have to wear it to
Oh,
school.
okay.
So it was like once I got home from
It
school.
was like your superhero suit.
Yeah, that's when I put it on, and I would just keep it on, and then
alter
like
ego.
on the weekends and stuff like that. But it
Yeah.
didn't last that long.
That's like some
You
Hannibal
know,
shit.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if I wore it all
Where
the
is
time,
my
but it worked.
It worked.
Never had to get braces again.
Good.
So my bar, right in the back, it had snapped, and I was like, you know what? I should get this fixed.
Yeah,
Right.
good idea.
Like I don't really need it because it's been so long. My teeth have still remained straight. But I'm like, maybe I should just get it fixed because I have insurance. I go to the dentist. Haven't been there since I was 14. And I was just like, hey, I went to the same one. I was like, hey, I went here a very long time ago, like 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
I was like, should I come back to you guys or whatever? She was like, oh, let me see if I have your file. She turned around. She was like, what's your name? Da-da-da-da-da.
It's right there.
And she was just like, here's your file. Whoa, you haven't been here for so long. I was like, yeah, 20 years. You want to know?
You have been
Well,
here.
this was a typewriter.
This is what the scroll spoke of.
Oh, you saw Bertha. She died, you know.
And I was like, yeah, you know what's crazy is my photo is right here on the wall because my dentist went and sponsored my basketball team.
Nice.
When I was in grade 7 or 8. And so I'm like, yeah, my photo's right here and here's my daughter and a lot of things have happened in the last 20 years. But the fact that you still have this paper folder just sitting there from when
Just
I was
taking up
14
space.
years
Like,
old.
Insane.
It's like hoarders.
Insane. Yeah, literally.
It's hoarders.
What happens if the thing burns down? Do they have it online as well?
No,
No,
no.
nigga.
That's the point. That's a significant issue.
Do better.
Like what?
That is a
Think
significant.
about how many
And who's
documents are
spending
lost
the
in
money
LA.
on that?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Who's spending the money on that? The government isn't.
nope,
Yeah.
Douglas isn't.
nope. Shoppers isn't.
About to bring it up later.
Oh man, it's been a tumultuous week. How was your Valentine's Day? Anybody?
We're looking
All
at
right.
me.
Restaurant.
We're looking at me, bro.
I'm the only one getting pussy in this motherfucker.
I went to a lovely restaurant.
No, imagine.
Well, actually,
No, it was.
Personal Valentine's.
It's about me.
Self-love.
It's about growth. It's about focusing on
I had a
yourself.
Palentine's.
Valentine's.
Yeah, the Palmentides.
All right, first of all, don't do that, bro.
Me and my
Don't do
palm.
that. Never. You know what? Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
I
I
thought you meant Palmer.
Whoa.
do. You see? Write it down.
Respect me.
Write it down.
Yeah, write that down, man. What the fuck? Nah, you said
Why?
it. I said Palmen, not Palmer.
That's wild.
Palmer
I
times
want
is
no
kind of
parts.
sick.
This guy.
Hold on,
He's like,
now.
wait a minute,
Hold
TM.
on now. Might be an album name. Hold on now. Speaking of albums.
You're going to drop it on Valentine's?
Hey, my
Pay for
I won't
some
be doing
dinners?
it on the day that Drake and Party drop theirs though. That's just suicide.
Did anybody
Sexy
release on that day?
songs for you, huh?
Did anybody else release on that day? Valentine's Day?
Yeah. A bunch of people actually.
Yeah. Conway, no? Or some other guys?
West Side.
Yeah.
West Side
Oh,
Gun.
yeah. That's a great project. Strong project.
Oh, there's a bunch. I saw
Really?
it the day of, but I just couldn't. I can't remember who exactly. There's a bunch.
that
Giveon dropped a new
Valentine's Day
song. Oh, bunch. Giveon's
Don't play with him.
Giveon coming into 2025 kind of rude, man.
Yeah.
20s? You heard that song yet?
20s, yeah. I'm happy it didn't speak to me. It didn't speak to me, but I saw some people post about it. And I'm like, oh yeah.
That nigga mailed
I
it
can
down
see.
low key.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I
But that
know
song
about
is
it.
fire. Like it's basically about giving up your 20s to, you know.
Come
a
on
person.
now.
Couldn't be me.
Spending my
All that for you guys,
money
though. Couldn't be
on
me.
you. I know you were depressed listening to that
Never,
shit.
nigga. Me? Never, nigga. Are you crazy? Are you sick?
You walked outside in the snow and that shit came on.
That was me to Party's album.
jacket.
That was the Party album.
Soles up to the air.
Looking at a lampshade.
You said you were in the shower crying.
Yeah. Who said that?
James.
James saw you in the shower?
Nah, that's crazy.
Crying?
No, but that album.
He said you were
Songs
probably
were just
listening to
loud.
it in the shower crying.
Sexy Songs for You came out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, dog.
21 tracks. Too much.
An hour, 13 minutes.
Too much.
Just the blow.
73
I mean,
minutes.
depends who you're asking.
Unless
I
they're
mean,
trying to get rid of stuff.
It's good. It's good. You know what I mean? An hour 13 is good, bro.
The first song, off the bat, I was like, okay. I see what type of energy we on. First of all, excuse me, the whole album sounds very regional.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I understand if people outside of Toronto aren't too like gravitating towards it. There's a lot of Toronto references that only we would know on this. I never thought I'd hear a No Frill shout out. That was
First time. Didn't have it on my bingo card still.
And is this the first CN Tower song with the name CN Tower?
I don't know. That I
Like, I
know.
feel like this,
that might be a burn.
might
I feel like
like
I
a
should have
little-
noticed this.
There would have
before.
been like a little smaller artist.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking
Maybe.
of smaller artists for sure.
Maybe somebody check streaming, see if there's a song called CN Tower outside of
Checking.
this, because
Certainly.
I'm like, it's right there. So how is this not a song? And the way they used it with the whole, what color is the CN Tower? It's red, like the messages I sent you. Like, come on. In the depression bag.
Because I mean, tapping in.
In the depression bag, Hurt Boy bag was all throughout this album.
My bag.
How'd you guys feel about it?
Bro,
Let's hear it.
I was fucking with it from the start. Obviously, because I'm like, all right, midnight hits, we're locked in. Putting in, at first, I had the AirPod Pros. I'm like,
Okay.
nah, need more.
Yeah,
Put the maxes on.
little bass.
Tapped in.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sitting there Just listen to the album.
Soul elevating.
In a dark room? Or, like,
Nah, room was lit.
Okay.
It got darker later. I was
What,
like, nah,
what song did it
turn
get
it
dark at?
I don't even. Might have been Lasers. I'm like, let me go lay down. Lasers. I'm like, I need to put my hands on my chest right now. But the beginning of the album, listening to it, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I'm giggling at moments as well. I'm just like, oh
Giggling.
man, yes. I get like a little bitch when it comes to music. If I'm
Yeah,
keeping it
no,
a
I
buck,
get,
like,
I get it.
yeah,
I get
'cause you're
giddy.
listening, you're like, oh my god,
I get giddy. I get giddy.
Yes, like,
when I
man-
hear certain things that make me happy, I get giddy. Still.
dog.
Because it's like I'm rooting for these artists. Like,
Exactly.
there's so many.
Sure.
I
It's a
can't remember
different
what.
connection,
I
man.
think it was Daniel Caesar when he dropped Freudian, bro. I was
Yeah.
giggling throughout the whole shit. Cause I was so happy that this nigga delivered. I was so happy he delivered.
I don't know. It's just about hearing you guys say, I'm giggling through this.
it is a nuts visual.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Picture it, me like hee hee. Yeah, I was doing that shit. Literally, I was in my hee hee bag.
In a quiet room.
Bro,
Yo,
when Freudian
literally.
dropped, I giggled like a bitch. Cause I was just so happy. Like, yo, dog, when you have, especially when you have like so much stock in an artist before they
Dog.
get
Blew
big
up and
moments,
stuff.
Sure. No, I feel
you're
that.
like, oh yes.
Because you're
like,
laughing at like him pulling it off. Like it's the landing of the
I have
situation.
a
No, I
nervous
feel it.
tick of laughing
Sure.
in any situation.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable
Yeah.
ones, all that. Like I just laugh. So it's like that's probably why it's my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So yeah, I think when we got to, Crying in Chanel was, he put a snippet out, so I'm like, okay, I know what this is.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Superman hit. I was like, oh, this is already hard. And then the Real Her sample came out, nigga.
The real
I
sampling
peeped it. First of
yourself.
all, I'm that nigga, so I already know from jump. Before I looked at Twitter, I'm like, oh, he did that.
There's so many samples on
Yes.
this album.
And I was like,
Throughout
of
this
course I'm
whole
gonna sample
album-
my own slaps. Like, what?
Throughout
Yes.
this whole
Somebody even sat
album,
down
there
and
was a
reviewed all the
lot of samples.
Yeah,
You had Raining in Houston, you had Be With You sample with Beyonce. CN Towers samples Lollipop, obviously. Small Town Fame samples Never Call Me by Janae Aiko.
Okay.
Superman, Spider-Man samples The Real Her. Small Town Fame also samples Speak to My Heart by Donnie McClurkin. So a little gospel. Aaron Hall, I Miss You.
Yo, that's my track. That's my track.
I'm like, nobody
of
fucks
people
with Aaron
don't know.
Hall like that. This is crazy.
Nah, what's his name? The drill niggas, they did that shit.
Oh,
The
yeah,
sexy
yeah.
drill guys, they did that.
Yeah.
Fire.
Terrell, Sing. I don't know if you guys know Terrell. You guys know Terrell? He has an amazing YouTube channel where he gets
yeah.
the best
I was gonna
vocalists
say.
on there.
Oh shit, I know
And
that
does
is.
like
Yeah,
word
yeah.
association and shit. His show is amazing.
Okay.
So how did he
Oh,
sample
there's
the song?
Yeah,
His
he
songs?
had an album that he put out for his anniversary, or I think it was 1 million subscribers, one of the two. He had like a live show with all his favorite vocalists that have come on the show, and they made it an album.
Okay.
Ice Spice and Zane Lowe's interview sampled on Glorious.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
It's crazy. He did Ice Spice better than Ice Spice
Yo.
does Ice Spice.
I don't like that. But even if I'm her man, I don't like that song though, bro.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't know if he was talking about her at
I
first.
said I didn't know. I don't like that shit.
Asked
'Cause,
me to
like,
bust her back. I was like, whoa.
that, and also
What?
he was like, yeah, like your man's popping, but like you know you don't want to waste your 20s on him.
I felt like his song was about Georgia Smith, but I couldn't
Again?
tell. I feel like some of these songs might be a little
can't
old.
keep getting away with this.
Some of these
That's
songs
what
are
T-Pain
like,
was saying, right?
Yeah,
Like, he
it
thinks
feels-
it's not like fresh, new. It's
did hear
older
that, yeah.
things that
Yeah.
they repurposed.
I feel like it's songs that they've had in the tuck for years, and just because they've had it in the tuck for years, they know it's gonna work, and so they just finally put it out there. They're pretty evergreen. You can always go in and punch in new lines to make it sound a little bit more modern, but I
none of this
did
felt
feel like it
stale.
was none
not
of
at
it.
all.
It's so evergreen, right?
Yeah.
They're making music that's not like tied to a moment or a time. Especially because of the samples.
Yeah.
The sample
It
heavy.
doesn't feel completely out of place too.
Lasers interpolates Say My Name. It also interpolates Girls Love Beyonce, but I'm pretty sure it's just interpolating Say My Name.
Yeah.
But Girls Love Beyonce was interpolating Say My Name. Somebody Loves Me samples Alone Again by Peter Jolion. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but that song's crazy.
Greedy samples Baby by Ashanti.
Yep. Peep that
Raining in
first
Houston
listen.
samples Ain't Nothing I Can Do by Tyrone Davis. Nokia samples the literal Nokia ringtone. Crying in Chanel samples Florida Baby, which was wild to me.
That song that just came out.
That one's definitely new, which is probably why they led with that as the teaser. Florida Baby, Isaiah Falls, sorry, is like, it's not an old song, but it's,
It's like
like
new. It came out
2
like-
years,
yeah,
probably.
less than I feel like.
Less than 2 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
he went super viral with that song.
He's amazing. His voice is
dope.
amazing.
He's
His
dope.
music's really dope. Got a Chris Brown sample on Lasers. Just a lot of samples. Just a lot. A lot. What did you guys give it out of 10?
First, now 8.5, bro.
Yeah, Murder
Very
on
happy
You,
with it.
8.5.
I wouldn't want to take a song off at all.
I would.
Which don't if you say Die Trying, I'm
On
like,
my way.
21's a lot.
on my way.
On my way, yeah.
That was
Man,
literally the
that's
song that I
on my way.
stopped at.
That's the anthem for niggas that fuck with like women with kids, bro. Like
I listen. I was a single mother
So me-
bandit at one point, bro.
yeah, type shit. Bro, how do you not like this song?
It's just not for me. It sounded, you know what? A lot of these songs blend together and sound very similar. And that one was just not on the level of some of the other songs that sounded like it.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense. And it's surrounded by Celibacy and Glorious, and like those two songs, superior,
Celibacy, yeah. He took it
superior
somewhere else.
to it.
You what?
He took it somewhere else.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Not a lot of Party.
Yeah. Felt like a
Majority Drake.
with Party.
Do you think Party produced some tracks?
He definitely did. Yeah, definitely. I think he was a producer. I think he even song wrote on a lot of them. But the party tracks that are on here, he sounds like Future to me.
That's what I was saying. I was listening. I don't know which song it was. I was just listening, and I was like,
Like Small Town Fame sounds like
this
Future.
Future?
And I was like, is this like R&B Watt Ball? I could see it. Is this
Small Town
R&B
Fame?
What a Time to Be Alive?
it
Like,
might be Small Time Fame too.
Small Town
It was like
Fame?
one of the earlier ones.
it
that I heard,
sounds
too.
like Future.
you're
like
right.
it's a
I don't think
whole
I-
song.
No,
I was
you
like,
might be
wow.
right.
I guess because like I know, like I'm super familiar with like Party doing like chameleon shit, where he sounds like Post Malone, he sounds like
Yeah,
Thugger,
yeah.
he sounds like So just I automatically I didn't think about that, but yeah.
Let's talk about that
I heard,
Post Malone.
I heard it, and I was just like, huh?
Let's talk about that Post Malone, man. That die
Trying?
trying. Pop as fuck.
Dog.
It reminded me of like when you heard SZA just drop a random folk pop track in
on
there.
what you call it, the SOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She had a folk pop track on there, and even on Control, I think she had one of those like
She stays with one of those.
Yeah.
she always has one pop track on there.
She spent
And-
enough time in Brooklyn.
Yeah, this one had Yeba on it. Not enough Yeba. Not enough Yeba. She's just at the end, basically. I didn't like that.
Underused resource.
Yeah, definitely. Meet your Padre, brother.
Yo.
I seen people hating on this, and I'm like, y'all niggas
Yeah.
are not serious. This is
All the
hilarious.
haters, bro. Yo, this is. I fuck with this, bro. Unironically. I fuck with this. I'm like, yeah, nigga, what? Nigga, when audio dropped, that was my shit. Respects to your padre, mi amor.
Oh my God.
That right there, bro. That's the belly tap, quick foot thing, with the wife beater on. That's there, bro. Bachata, all that shit.
What did you call that?
The tank top.
No.
The quick
The
foot
one before
shuffle.
that. No, the quick foot shuffle.
Yeah, belly. You know,
And your
the
belly
shit?
tap.
Yeah, belly tap.
I never heard it referred to that one.
Yeah,
Still.
but you know what I'm talking
Belly
about, though.
tap?
You know what I'm talking about?
It's
Yeah.
like no, I landed the plane.
Quick
Still.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this song was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard, and I couldn't believe people were taking it so seriously. Like, I
No.
really think this is just a funny thing he did, and like, it reminds me of when Eminem used to do those voices in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, that was really good stuff.
how
Yeah,
that's
and
all
it was
characters
just
and
fun.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and characters and stuff. I was like, that's just fun. Like,
And even like the videos, but Drake did one of those videos too, where it was just like I don't remember what song it was. It was a while ago, wasn't it? I don't know.
French
I feel like
Montana?
it was one of those fun videos.
oh yeah.
Too sexy.
Oh,
Too
yeah,
sexy.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, he does it every once in a while. I
Yeah.
feel like you get a video where it's like just
Laugh now,
more-
cry. Laugh now, cry later. Also a funny video.
Yeah. I let's get to Give Me a Hug, man. Let's get to Give Me a Hug. Give Me a Hug is the closest to a timestamp you're gonna get on this album. It's not a timestamp, but it is the closest you're gonna get.
Interesting.
And he talks about it.
Yep.
Talks about the battle. Not in depth, but kind of lets you know where he's at. Fuck everybody type vibe. There was a couple bars on here that made me go, And I can't tell if, well, obviously we know what the bar for M4 was. Melissa Ford, you a legend from the six. Hate to see you with a dick sucker. Who's a dick sucker, guys?
Joe Budden.
Or is it Flip? Who is it?
Stop,
Who is
stop,
it?
stop.
Who is it?
Drake is not shooting at Flip.
Why not?
No way.
I don't think he is either, because Flip's actually the most objective person on the podcast.
Exactly.
Easily.
And he's actually I feel like he's Team Drake, just won't say it like 100%. Won't say
Outright?
it.
He always pushes back, like, guys, don't you think this is OD and stuff like that? Like, he'll always push back.
Yeah.
So
I like the album. He's very happy
Why
with
would
it.
they? So I don't listen to Joe Budden, right?
Yeah.
Why would you or anybody contemplate Flip being the person that he's taking that shot?
Oh no, they're just it was just a joke
Because I've seen them like a couple of people.
Yeah, 'cause they sit next to each other.
I know
That's
he
why.
was.
I think it's more so because he dick sucks Melissa Ford. And the bar was about Melissa Ford. It was why everybody tried to like throw that little joke in there, because he's just always on Melissa Ford. But it's clearly about Joe. I mean, him and Joe. Joe has said some pretty like defamatory shit about him
Yeah.
on the podcast. Like he could sue Drake if he really wanted to.
Drake and Joe, they have this weird.
It's like Young and the Restless
connection.
with them too. Man.
Always drama.
They used to be friends. Like I think it's weird. Like they're almost the same person.
They are.
We're like-
and Joe can't stand that.
Like all the criticism he's giving, he's really just talking to himself.
He can't,
Internal?
It's insane.
It's-
There's definitely a big brother, little brother, but the underachieving big brother who's kind of has it out for the little
Well,
brother.
the
as well.
underachieving and the one that took his girl at one point.
Oh yeah.
know what I
Always
mean?
taking a girl.
He's always and it's like
Always the root of it, you know.
it
Yeah,
can't be
it's always a girl
it's
thing.
never the other way around, which is the thing, which I feel like sometimes there's an attempt for it to be, and it's just never worked out that way. And that's where a lot of the resentment also comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely have a tumultuous relationship. I mean, we know Drake started off kind of imitating Budden in his
100%,
flows early on.
Kinda.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying he imitated him, and Budden didn't really like take offense. He embraced him
Yeah.
at a certain point, right? And they were friends. You see them smoking hookah and all types of shit. I mean, after Views, that's where the Budden podcast blew up.
Yeah.
That Views rant is what blew it up and made it go super global. And every bigger moment since then has been
Tied to Drake.
tied to Drake. Joe and Kendrick are a lot alike.
They use Drake to.
They're a lot alike. Joe, I think, is a little bit more intentional with the way he uses Drake, whereas Kendrick just don't like the nigga.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I feel like Kendrick has been, I don't want to say brainwashed because that's not the word. I think he has been not
put on the
led,
path?
but put on the path to what we're seeing between him and Drake right now. Like we hear the stories about them putting
Influence?
Drake's picture in the studio and them telling him, this is the nigga you gotta be. Like once you put that into the head of somebody,
They're
it's
in
like,
his ear.
yeah, it's
influence.
like you're gonna look at him and everything you if especially if you're being compared to him, you're just gonna automatically stop liking things about him. And a lot of this beef, if
Seems
we're
stemmed
being
from
real,
there.
is just because a nigga don't like another nigga. It's not because of anything actually morally wrong.
Yeah.
It's just a nigga hating,
Yeah.
which is crazy. If you really boil it down to brass tacks, it's a nigga that's literally mad because you're winning, and you're winning with the style that I don't respect, and so I got to get at you.
Isn't that beautiful?
You're not like me.
Is it?
You're not like me.
I
Yeah,
mean,
You're
exactly.
not like me.
the heights that it's now reached, I think, are like obviously too much. But I think at its crux, this guy just don't like this nigga. And if you cannot express this
I
via
can't
hip
rate
hop,
that because
then
I wouldn't rate that in real life. If I knew these two niggas and Kendrick was acting like that, I'd be like, that's a hating ass nigga.
correct. No, I
And I would
agree he's
not
a
rate
hating
it. I would never be like, oh yeah, he's the pure
I
one.
think context. I think it's not just the hating ass nigga-ness of the situation. I think it's the fact this nigga was a hater and everybody was like, proceed.
Well, it's because of what they represent,
And
right?
no, but that speaks more about how much goodwill you've curated amongst your own folks. That's actually what that's actually the.
I agree
the
with
titular
that, but
part.
also I think it's how people attach themselves to goodwill. I think a lot of people
for sure.
want to look like hip hop purists. A lot of people
So a lot
want
of
to
people
look
are
like
just the empty man defender.
that's it.
That's fair.
And it's easier to attach yourself to quote unquote noble when it's a guy that represents what Kendrick represents.
The PDF-ness of the situation is what maybe told people they didn't want to.
No,
I think-
they already, if going into this, they already made
I
up their
don't.
minds.
For Kendrick, no.
That's fair.
For other people, yes, because people
They're
have been
just
saying this for a
tired.
long time, and they've been on that side for a while. But I think that Kendrick kind of used this to like, and this, and it's like,
What do you think Rick Ross turned?
when?
I said why.
Why?
Oh,
Because
he wants to be him, bro.
I don't know if it's about
But like
wanting to be
inherently,
him.
like the album before there was Rick Ross verse. Like everything seems kind of kosher in that friendship. In
To
some
me,
capacity.
it seems like underlying resentment at its base, and there's an opportunity to you see a chink in his armor. There's an opportunity to stab him.
There's
So
a
like,
little.
well, I'm gonna take this opportunity.
You think it's exclusively that?
I don't think Rick Ross would have done it by himself.
No.
Sure.
I think
Takes
it's
many
just
people to
like,
stab
okay,
Caesar.
there's this person who's like willing to lay it all on the table, and now everybody else is like, yeah, I kind of felt this way.
And
because
another
of him.
thing.
And then now they're all just jumping in because it's
Yeah, fair.
easier to jump when somebody is on the ground, you know?
But
than
not only
try to take
somebody
them
on-
down by
everybody's
themselves.
stomping in.
Not only
this has
somebody
been
on the
such
ground. Oh, go ahead.
it's been such a long reign that it's like, I know for sure they're just like, oh fuck, like
yeah.
why?
It's about time we.
Yeah, like that's it. It
Yeah.
was like, oh.
I heard somebody. I can't attribute it to the person because I can't remember. But somebody was like this. And they're quite a Drake fan. They're like, it feels like when they're trying to burn disco, like when they try to kill disco the day disco died, and they're like showing up with R&B records and shit. They're just like, yeah, they're just burning it to like fuck this era of music
Yeah.
and move on.
Yeah,
per se.
yeah, yeah.
And it kind of feels like that now everybody's bagging on Drake on top of maybe getting over his music, that they're
Yeah.
like, this was an open wound. But I just feel like, how does that happen? You know, how do you let that deteriorate if you're supposed to be a person who purports themselves to be a relationship builder? You know, just I'm curious. That makes me ask
Who's the
questions.
relationship builder in this situation?
Drake.
Drake is the relationship
Drake often
builder?
is like, I'm this is my guy. Look at me.
I feel like
I'm with my
Drake-
guys.
He's
This is
done shady
the
shit,
He
that's
said
why.
that, but he's also at the same time said in the music, I don't trust none of these niggas repeatedly throughout his whole career. So I'm like, it's I don't know if it's one of those keep your enemies closer type vibes or if it's,
Why don't you trust them?
Well, because the music industry and the industries in general, I would say the entertainment industry as a whole is very fraudulent in many ways. People
For sure.
will
But
do what
people
they
in
have to
general
do.
as well.
That's capitalism,
I don't know
guys.
if people in general
You signed up.
but I know in this industry, I can only speak to this industry. It's very
Prevalent.
transactional and therefore fraudulent because it's so transactional.
So there's no genuineness to gauge off.
There is
There's too much
some,
money to be exchanged.
but it's like it's hard to filter that out.
What that line is.
You know what I mean? Like you're seeing these people, every awards show, festival. You're not on them with like a daily basis.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then the ones that you are the ones you actually have really tight bonds with. 21 Savage, Young Thug, like
Right.
the guys he's actually spent real time with. We've seen those guys aside from LeBron and DeMar. We've seen those guys kind of stay out of this. Like they haven't even just said a word about it for either side.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's interesting, but it's not something I can say he didn't see coming. He's kind of talked about it the entire career. Like there's countless songs.
I mean, Jay-Z told him, right?
Jay-Z
From the
warned
jump.
him. Yeah, on wax.
From that first,
Jay-Z
from
warned
that
him.
first
Yeah.
album.
Eminem
Said,
warned him as
Yeah.
well.
They're gonna
Eminem
eventually
warned him.
come for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So keep your shit tight.
Yeah.
And he didn't keep his shit tight.
I mean, he kept it tight for a long time.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're talking like people coming for you and you holding the number one spot, Jay-Z never did it. Jay-Z arguably wasn't number one in almost any year that he was out.
well, Drake hacked the number one-ness of being a hip hop artist.
Well, it was more so the streaming era hack.
He's like, I don't need an R&B act anymore. I can just be my own
Yeah,
R&B
I
act.
am
on the
the
side,
I think
you
if
know?
it-
So that kind of combines a budget.
If there was no Drake, who would be the number one guy right now?
Don't say Cole.
I'm saying Kanye personally.
Yes. But no.
But
You think there's a world? So in like the magic universe in which this happens, you're thinking if there's no Drake, Kanye doesn't go crazy and he's able to stay in the
yes,
lane.
because I feel like Drake drives him insane.
I think that he was still.
I'm so serious. I wish I was joking. I think Drake's existence literally drives the man crazy.
I think it
he's been
adds-
trying to sabotage him since best I ever had.
I think
Ye
it
drives
definitely
himself crazy.
adds to
No, that's
it,
right.
but I think that there's just
Yeah, there's like
it's innate in him.
yeah.
It was
yeah. There's no
gonna
containing
come.
that type of great.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like-
his mom. If his mom didn't die, then a lot of things. It was like the snowball effect, right? His
Yeah.
mom died, and then from there, it just kept building, and yeah, maybe now he puts all his interest and focus into Drake.
Well,
but
maybe he would have focused on Kendrick or Cole.
It would
Or
have been
maybe he
someone.
would
Would've
have
been
been just
someone.
focused
It
on
It's an
would've
somebody
underlying
else.
thing with
likely.
him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just he's always been crazy, but it's been good crazy. It's been crazy like, oh, he's just doing things that are outside the box, but he went left, like super left, and keeps doing it, and it's like, dog, stop.
and
doing
you
Kanye.
and not to shoot him, there's no bail to be shot because he's gone off the deep end. But I think oftentimes it's a story to be maybe people over enable a lot of folks who maybe are mentally ill but are also providing money for a whole camp of folks,
100%.
and maybe. If people earlier triaged some of his maybe earlier mental health stuff, this wouldn't have
Yeah.
devolved to like, all right, now it's just untamable. Like, I ain't gonna touch him.
yeah,
It's unfair.
if he
It's
got
unfortunate.
help a little while ago, then we might still have part of the original Kanye. You
I
know?
feel like there's
Yeah.
been help that's been attempted to be given
Yeah.
many
And
times.
also, if
many
he
a
doesn't
time.
want help, that's also his
Well,
prerogative,
Yeah.
right?
I know
Like,
that
that's-
he went and said the Kardashians were trying to like poison him and put him in the thing.
Yeah,
And
trying to Britney Spears him,
I believe it.
I don't know.
trying to put him in a conservatorship. I believe it to be, yeah. And now I see why. I'm like, were they
no, I
completely
understand.
off?
He was off for business.
It's like you don't get to see your kids. Yeah, look what you're saying. Look what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I can't
Doesn't
feel
take
sorry
much.
for him anymore when he says that. And I really was like, yo, let that man see his kids and blah blah. Blah. And it's like now I'm like,
If you have
Maybe-
that much money and you're in LA
yeah.
and you're taking yourself to video, that tells me, why have you not spoken to a lawyer? You have too much money for a lawyer. Has every lawyer said, I will not take your case? That tells me there's other issues at foot, you
See,
know?
we say this, but also we have to tap into the paranoia and be like, it's kind of warranted. When you see others who have gotten to his position, they don't tend to last very long. We just saw a story with Nicki Minaj slapping her assistant and firing her because she sent
Him.
somebody him. It was
yeah,
him
it was a guy.
because she sent somebody. He sent
medication.
somebody else to get her prescription.
Oh.
And that level of paranoia, I think, is warranted because, like,
You don't
look
know
what happened to
who's-
Prince, look what happened to Michael Jackson. Like, we don't know who else this happened to. And once you get to that state and that point, and you've also ostracized and removed yourself from a lot of your friends and family that have been riding you through before all this,
It is hard to rebuild
it's
from
hard to come back
That
from
is
that.
true.
It's
That
like
is
you're a
true.
man on an island and it just keeps floating away and you're like just trying to blow the opposite
No,
direction.
that's like
like
addiction and many mental health crises,
Yeah.
but people do it. People do it with no money. And,
Yeah.
you know, Connie has many monies. So, you know, with some folks who are around him who are making money, maybe be like, hey, have you seen your therapist today?
They definitely
you
have
thought of
tried.
talking to somebody?
They've definitely
Yeah.
tried, brother.
Yeah.
But then,
And then how do you tell a
it's tough.
billionaire?
yeah,
How
it's
do you
also
tell a
that.
billionaire to what to do? I made $1 billion, I lost it, and I got 2 more back. How do I tell
I
him
know.
you're not doing the right things?
My man just literally got me here. So
And
it's
then-
like,
It's
you can't tell
tough.
me.
It's
He's
tough.
definitely like a narcissist as well. So
100%.
there's that part. And then if he really does have bipolar, that's like another thing. They really do feel sometimes like they can't be helped.
Sure.
Right?
Are we to blame at all? Like the consumers? Because like when you think about like the Kanye holding a Kanye picture and things like that we kind of fed into.
Sure.
Which led to him being like super meta about it and like even making songs referencing that. And I miss the old Kanye. And I love Kanye. And like, did we do part of that? Is that
sure.
part
Well,
of
that song for
partly
sure.
us?
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
everybody does, like it happens to a lot of artists, right? I think maybe it just hit Kanye differently, given like his mother's death and being married to the Kardashians. You know, that's
And
gonna-
being so trendsetting, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not like he's doing shit
incredibly
other
innovative.
people do
No.
and then there's success.
Yeah.
He's breaking ground and being the most successful that you could be.
And then how are you going to tell somebody that they're actually wrong?
Yeah,
Because
if they did
when
it.
it comes down to it, a lot of times he was just way ahead of everybody
That's
else.
it.
And then we have to look back and we're like, oh,
5 years later.
yeah. True.
Like there's fits that you could go back and look at of Kanye in 2008 that people are now getting on. And it's like, bruh, this is different. And like, yeah, no, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Mind you, like that can also be a whole bunch of fashion brands who are now able to like start mining his old stuff for what they're going to put out for that season.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes it's a little bit more, not necessarily manufactured, but like Kanye was very innovative in like an industry that kind of outbarred him.
I feel like he was
adamantly.
innovative across the board and everything
Yeah.
that he did. He was just like a genius. And I mean, I don't know. They say the other geniuses are crazy too, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they said Albert Einstein was a little off. They said that Picasso was off. Like,
Almost everybody got a little bit of unhinged.
I think it's just unfortunate that there's social media, which allows him, if he didn't have access to social media, if people took that away from him, then maybe we wouldn't be able to have access to all the craziness.
And he
we
wouldn't have
wouldn't be
access to
able
Twitter porn.
we wouldn't be able to judge it and know what's
Yeah,
really
that's a good-
going on
that's
in his
actually the point.
mind. And we would just be able to have his
Be
art.
like, oh my God, he's a genius.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
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 And I mean,
Wouldn't
how
know
many other
anything else.
people do we, maybe who we got art from?
And that we support on a daily, but
And we
just
have
aren't as
no clue
visible
what they
that we
think.
have no idea.
No clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karl Lagerfeld's definitely eating hearts at one point in his life, and we just didn't know,
Maybe.
like baby hearts for sure.
That's
For
wild.
sure, I'm telling you, it's a fact.
That's kind of wild.
This is gonna do 250K first week, being
Okay.
the number one album, Party's first number one.
What did The Weeknd do again the other day?
450.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
But that was the most he's ever gotten, right?
I think so. Yeah, that was the highest he's ever done first week.
Yeah.
Interesting. Would have been a little higher for like that.
That was a longer
Kiss
rollout
Land
though,
album.
much longer rollout.
Yeah.
You got the Grammys performance and all that to bolster it as well. So that made sense. It made sense.
To be fair, Drake has not had the most glorious year, right? He's been dragged a lot. He hasn't done as much things as he probably would have done across the board. So for somebody who is hate it so much, 250 is way better than your favorite rapper.
Listen, 1201 hit and I saw y'all. I saw y'all on them sites. Saw y'all giving your reviews. Saw y'all writing lyrics. Listen, man. Shit's all performative. It's all a show. It's all a show. And I said it when the beef was happening, and Drake fans were like going gung ho, trying to like, I don't know, save his image or some shit. I was like, just let people say what they gotta say, and we will reconvene and check this again at a later date.
The
Here we
table
are.
will turn.
It's
The
a later date. That's the episode today. I titled today. A later date. And here we are.
Yeah.
250K first week. Broke the R&B soul record for most streams in a day. Broke a couple records. Pim. Where's Duke? Duke on the washroom?
Yeah, I went to
Booty Curtis. Pim.
Uh-oh.
Pim's interlude on there.
Oh my god.
Just incredible.
Strong stuff.
Incredible stuff. Please don't go out with your friends. Like that's a great opening line. Please don't go out with your friends. They don't respect our love. Come on,
Period.
Pim.
It's Pim, that person that he said that he talked about.
Put us on there a while back.
Yeah.
And I regret not looking into it because once I went to her page, I was like, download. Oh,
You're like,
download. Oh, this is good. Download. She is nice.
Suddenly go back to your lecture like, oh damn, I got 3 hours worth.
Bruh, she has a song called Say It With Your Chest Freestyle.
And is she from here? No.
I don't know. I have no idea. Houston?
Houston.
Nice.
Asian girl or indigenous? She's one of the two. She's in black and white and everything, so I can't tell.
Wild.
What? Yes, I can't tell. I don't want to mislabel her.
How do you spell her name?
P-I-M.
P-I-M.
Pim.
Like a Pim's cup.
Houston singer and engineer. She be engineering her own records too, man.
That's pretty sick.
God damn.
Or she like a structural engineer on the side. Like she builds bridges.
right?
My day job is
do
actually a civil engineer. Talk about snow shoveling.
Yeah, no, that was probably one of my favorite interludes on a Drake album ever. It's up there with Bria and Yebba. Yebba's interlude is probably number
Wait,
one.
jury has got a verdict.
Oh,
For
the verdict
A$AP
has
Rocky.
been set for A$AP Rocky.
Mayors, case number BA
Okay.
Is that gonna be Susan?
the Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayors. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayors, not guilty.
Wow.
He went crazy. He jumped over the thing.
He jumped? Let
Yeah,
me see. Let me see.
He jumped over.
They're gonna hold him in contempt. Is that Rihanna? That's not
No,
Rihanna.
that's his lawyer or something. He jumped over the thing.
Can he do that?
I don't know.
The judge's like, you order in the court. We're gonna hold Mr. Rakim in contempt. 2 orders of contempt.
Yeah.
I said, you gotta pry me away from this one.
Oh, that's
Somebody said, bro, dive like it was a concert.
Listen,
Yeah,
you're not diving into that. He's diving into that pussy. He's diving in that pussy like, let's make another one.
They're gonna have another
For
baby.
sure.
Now.
They're gonna make another one.
They're
for
gonna
sure.
have that girl. They're gonna have that girl
We
now.
ain't getting no Rihanna music for the next 10 years
Nope.
because of this verdict. Thank you a lot to ASAP Relly for lying on the stand numerous times and being caught. We thank you.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Crazy.
ASAP Rocky is free. I hope he doesn't make another album. Just dive into the model.
No, I think they have music together.
Oh God, please
Yeah.
God, no. Please.
You never heard her
Jesus.
say that?
Fashion Killer was not that good.
She said that. Well, she wasn't on it.
She
She
wasn't.
was just in it.
Oh,
She was
okay.
just in there. Like it was essentially
No
about
wonder.
her.
It was
Yeah.
that good. I'm not the biggest ASAP fan. After the first album,
I was
really don't
I like
care.
ASAP.
Pesos. That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Name 3 songs after Pesos.
Not the right guy. Don't make me do that to ASAP.
It's like,
I'm a big
I'm
ASAP
more of a
mob
Bill
guy.
Withers
I
guy.
was out early. I got like residual
You're
appreciation.
definitely more of a Bill Withers than a Rocky.
In one of her interviews when she was doing like a carpet for one of her Venti events, right? They always ask her when's the new music. And she was just like, honestly, there's music, but a lot of the times we're just trying to go back and forth, whether it's going to be Rocky's or mine.
Well, there's that, and she also had the problem of not liking a lot of the music that
After
she made
she had
after
babies.
she had babies. Because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, no, I have kids now. I can't put
Told
this
her.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, good.
She said like it's just a different mindset, she said.
Yeah.
Like and she has a
She just
different
has a different,
vibe.
like, she wants to make
and-
different music.
Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
It's
Drake
gonna take years, bro. When we really,
Drake probably
when you really
hating this
deep it,
news.
I'm really sad. That's actually kind of unfortunate. Now
What?
that I really deep that, we're not gonna get Rihanna music for like a long, long time.
No. Well, the Smurf song is
Yeah,
coming out.
Smurf song coming out.
That's actually the play.
We
You
might
got to get her on a
Thames song.
soundtrack.
We might get a Thames. We might get a Glorilla track. Maybe like some Lucy's.
Yeah,
there.
just like a little features here and
Yeah.
there.
No, you
Yeah,
got
that's
you
it.
got to get her on a good soundtrack. Let her do a whole little soundtrack for the kids, but it's actually like secretly a good one.
That'd be crazy.
like the Lion King one, the Beyonce one.
That Despicable Me, like the music they released with the Despicable Me movies, are like it's like a real album. Like it's actually
They're doing real albums now for
Yeah.
these movies.
there's a Diana Ross and Tame Impala song. About
We're
it. I'm like,
almost
this
getting back
fucking
to the
slaps.
recipes, like for real, for real.
Yeah, Justin
Because that
Timberlake
used to
did
be
do
the
one.
thing. Like movies, soundtracks used to be charting
Facts.
all the time.
Remember the Rugrats with Maya?
Oh yeah.
Teddy Riley in his bag.
Yeah.
in his
It's a
bag.
track.
Friggin'
Same
my
breakdown.
favorite is Waiting to Exhale. Waiting to Exhale, is it Soul Food or Waiting to Exhale? One of those two. I think it's Waiting to Exhale has the best soundtrack I've ever heard.
That's produced by Babyface, no?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Kenneth Edmonds.
Slaps.
Waiting to Exhale album. Yeah, you got
Will
Why Does
Smith
It Hurt
gotta
So
go back
Bad
to making
with
albums
Whitney.
with his movies too. Remember
Got
that?
Let It Flow with Tony Braxton. Let it flow. Are you dumb? Sitting up in my room with Brandy. Not Gonna Cry with Mary J. Blige. My Funny Valentine by Shaka.
That's all I want to say.
All Night Long, SWV. My Love, Sweet Love from Patti LaBelle. Faith Evans, Kissing You. For Real, Love Will Be Waiting at Home. Count on Me by Whitney Houston. Why Does It Hurt So Bad by Whitney Houston. Shoop, Shoop.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. This is one of the best soundtracks of all time. Easily.
Oh yeah, remember when Jay-Z did the Annie one?
Oh, yeah. Hard Knock Life. Remember when Jay-Z did one of his biggest songs of all time?
Remind me?
Drake is over in Australia, changing LeBron lyrics and dashing
Girls in
DeMar's jersey furiously.
So dramatic. First thing I saw
Why
was
is
Drama
he so
Kid.
dramatic?
Like, this
I was
is-
wondering.
He
I was
was a
wondering
drama
if
kid. He was an
He was, right?
actor.
Big theater.
I know, but it was so.
Big
I know, but like, I love that nigga, but that was too much. Like,
He's a drama kid.
I know, but when I saw all I heard was
Big.
what are you doing? Like, he took me, said, no, sirree. That's what I thought, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
His inner child came out.
100%. 100%.
Motherfucking meanie.
Exactly.
Yucky. This guy said he's a drama kid. Oh my gosh.
Theater kid.
Check the group with
do we? I was wondering if he got like if somebody threw him that jersey or if he brought it on stage just to throw it.
Yo,
Because that drastically changes
And
things.
the jersey was mad small,
Surely
too.
somebody.
It,
must have
it was
thrown
small and it looked like I don't know. It looked like somebody threw it up at him.
Quick, somebody get me a DeMar jersey stat. All we got is a youth size.
Either way, there's something there because if first of all, if you brought that on stage just to throw it, that's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And if
He loves the
if-
theatrics.
that's theatrical, that's more theatrical than the 9 shots with the smoke coming out the hoodie.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, that
If
involved a little bit of
someone threw it
pyrotechnics.
to him,
It's kind of crazy.
they should be beat up.
I
Why are you throwing me a DeRozan jersey?
And probably winking before it's time.
Get out! Get out!
come out. So Kev sent a video of Drake, somebody trying to fly a drone over his place in Australia, and him throwing a slipper, tried to throw a slipper.
That's a real video?
Let me see if I can. What is it, James Mac Mini?
Nah, he don't deserve that.
Perception screen
That's a
share.
real video. Wow. Someone
man doesn't-
flying a drone.
Here you go.
That man doesn't deserve
Yo, that fucking throw. Yo,
Yo, I can't tell if this is a rollout or not. He looks
got it.
so scared.
get out of here.
He looks so.
Fam, the shit's on his computer, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gotta
That
be a
guy's
rollout.
watching. Oh no, he's watching some nasty things.
That's what you thought?
Yeah, yeah. That's
It
what
looked like steak.
Nah, it looks like some another site.
It looked like
Nah,
what
it
other
looked like-
site?
it
It look like X videos, nigga. It look like X videos, nigga.
Bro, this guy's
Real ones know.
This guy knows the UI.
Gooners unite, nigga. I
This
know
guy
that
knows
page,
the
bro.
UI
It looks
of
like
fucking.
Disney Plus.
I know what that is. That's not Disney Plus.
That's not Disney Plus.
That's a different kind
that
of
looks
Disney.
like steak.
Actually,
That
I'd be
looks
right
like
still.
steak.
Oh shit.
I think this is a steak ad, bro.
Yeah, now that you mention it, still. Yeah.
I'm guarantee this is a steak ad because people are gonna be like, "Yo, what is that site?"
It's not. No, man.
You're right. Yeah.
Look at Alicia, pet detective.
He's right. It is.
Can't spell Nasty Drew without Ace. Ace Ventura on the job right now.
That's definitely steak.
That's definitely steak. That looks like casino
Somebody
games.
pull up the steak website.
That looks like casino games. Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
looks
a
like
cool
casino
ad.
games.
we can compare and contrast.
This video
I don't
of
see it.
someone flying a drone over Drake's condo in Australia, and he's just dashing a slipper at the drone trying to get rid of it. This is hilarious.
I don't see the actual
Can we
thing.
roll back this video?
Oh, the
What's
video.
happening
Yeah.
right now?
I just want to see his face.
We're trying to compare it to the steak website. Yeah, I think it. Honestly, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see, that
it's
is
the steak
it.
website.
Yeah, it's definitely steak.
Damn.
I'm telling you guys. You
Let
guys
me zoom
gotta.
in. Oh no.
It might be AI too.
Yo,
you know?
I feel
I'm
like he's.
unsure.
I feel like this is a.
Great marketing though.
Yeah.
If this is marketing, him having the
Like
orange.
everything's just set up too well.
too
You know
well.
what I mean?
The orange matches. The orange slipper matches the
Matching
drink.
the drink.
It's too much. That's a color story.
I
if
don't
I
think
see
he would
one.
look
Yeah,
that
yeah.
startled if he didn't know whose camera.
The
it was.
glass is too
Yeah.
set up.
The double back. Like,
Word. the other hand. What is the other hand doing? Word. Watch the left hand. Watch the left hand.
Drone.
That's crazy. The left hand is crazy. What is that?
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that was him.
Are you so
trying to
rich
see
you just
the
throw your
reflection.
designer
The real
shoes and a
question
drone
is,
off the balcony?
Do you think he's that good of an actor?
Actually, I do.
I think so.
I
I
actually
think he's
think
actually
that
a very
he's
good actor. He's very
probably like
I think this
just
is actually.
as good an actor as he is a rapper.
there's
Just
somebody
from
right
those
there.
skits that we saw.
Really?
Right here.
As good?
Look at those skits that we saw.
You
Like
fucking detective. You're touching
What?
that.
I found the person.
Well done.
The person.
You are a sicko at
what
Right here.
the person who's flying the drone?
Look at him.
Right there.
Look, right
Wait,
beside
right
the building.
in the
wait,
window.
Oh,
Underneath the
wow.
arm.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck.
Underneath the arm?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
crazy.
look at the
Oh,
reflection.
yeah.
That's him.
Look
no?
by
No,
his
that's
arm.
Drake.
No, there's
Arm?
right.
Yeah, no, I see
further
what you guys are
behind.
saying.
That's
Yeah,
not
No, it
Drake.
isn't.
Let me
No, it
see.
isn't.
Keep playing it.
Or the first.
Oh yeah.
It's Drake.
That's
I
a
mean, it's
whole
not
dude.
Drake.
It's not Drake for sure.
It's the second guy. It's the second shooter.
Hold on, let me see.
Likely
if I
the
can
guy
pause
driving the
it
drone.
on the exact same.
All right, let's move on because people can't see.
We're analyzing this like it's
Yeah,
a
this is too
JFK getting
much.
shot. We're like back and to the left.
Too much.
Back.
Fuck. Yo.
I'm telling you, women are different.
Yes, you can't. Yeah, you
Women
can't.
are different.
Do not
Rory
fuck
said.
with me.
Rory said
Different.
he got caught.
I know everything.
He got caught by one of his exes from his shadow,
Shadow.
at a music festival.
Yeah.
At a music festival.
Yeah, she's like, I know your shadow.
Okay, respectfully.
shadow?
Respectfully, how do you get caught with a shadow? That's not real evidence.
She knew his.
Nah,
his shape.
he
it was
had
really
to
him.
cop to that shadow still. I'd be like, I'm Peter
Nah.
Pan. My shadow leaves without
I mean,
me.
the
It
shadow
be
could have
anybody's
led
shadow.
to the next thing that led to the next
He
thing.
wasn't
that,
in trouble.
You know, built the whole.
It wasn't a girl that was like grilling him. She was just like,
She was
yo,
like,
I
I saw your
noticed you.
shadow.
And he looked at it and he was like, holy fuck, that's actually me. And I'm actually here right now.
That's crazy.
It's so wild.
Gonna augment my shadow now? That's crazy.
One song I was hoping that would be on here,
What
but I'm
big
actually
coats.
kind of hoping it drops in the summer, realistically. I don't know if you guys heard this leak with Drake and Shensia.
Was that the
think so, yeah.
earlier one from 100 Gigs or it's a different one?
I don't know.
This is from before.
Yeah.
I need this at a day party.
This feels like a
Comedian.
cutting room.
Is it called Plenty?
I'm not sure, but I remember they dropped it like earlier. Before he did the 100 Gigs thing, like around that
2016
time.
vintage.
Yeah.
This feels beachy.
Yeah, Plenty.
This is one dance.
It's from
This is
2020.
one dance
2016.
right here.
This is big 2016 energy.
Jeez. Right trigger.
Yeah, he has a few tracks with Shensia, right? There's another one that came out that was crazy.
That's a smart collaboration still.
Yeah.
Who was the one that he released today? On the plot twist. It was earlier today, right?
That was
Oh,
with
I
the
don't know who
New
that
Orleans
is. It's
bounce
yeah,
artist.
it's some
he said
New
the-
Orleans rapper.
He said the
He's not on it.
clearance.
Her name is Only
This
Heaven,
is the
right?
clearance winning for his goat or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
calls
He's
everyone his
not
goat.
sample clearance. Yeah, he wanted a sample clearance or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's introducing us to a new artist, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He also bought Everyone Meals at Tatiana's in New York.
Fire. Gentleman.
Is he?
I mean, yeah, he's devious.
Was he
but
just
he's-
eating
Wow.
at the restaurant and said, "Bills on
No,
you guys"?
No, there's a
it
little
was
bit more to
pre-planned.
it.
Oh, it was pre.
Joe Budden's ex, Sin Santana, is engaged, and her man
And pregnant.
owns that restaurant.
Sin.
Yeah.
Sin.
Drake.
Tress.
Yeah.
Why not?
It was black owned.
Happy Black History Month. You know?
Basically. Happy Black History
Black
couple
dollars
that
in the
made it
community.
I heard it's good.
The couple that made it
He's like,
viral.
matter of fact, I just want to draw more people there.
Yeah.
In this economy.
I'm helping you out. dog.
There's tariffs going on between our countries. This is actually a diplomatic mission.
There's a black couple that kind of made it go viral, and everybody.
How do they know?
There's a card that came with the meal said brought to you by Party and Drake. Compliments of Party and Drake.
Okay, it was a
sorry.
roll. Great job. Great job.
Yeah.
Part of the rollout.
No
Very
notes.
smart.
They also
No
did it
pun
in
intended.
Houston.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, at another black owned restaurant in Houston.
Also,
Paying
And
for
then they
Valentine's
did
dinners.
something here too. Oh, I don't know. We didn't look
here
that
too?
much into it. Apparently,
Yeah, there was
somebody
something here too.
there was something here too, but I don't know. Was it? I don't know. The Renee thing. It was something that people are frequenting right now. It's one of those popular restaurants
frills?
right now.
Oh, Cafe Renee.
Yeah. I don't know. Something like that.
I can remember their cutlery on the.
Yeah.
So the
Instagram.
couple that made it go viral, this black couple, and guy's like he's kind of dressed up. He's a little fancy. Got like a crew neck, designer crew neck on and shit. And his girl was in a Lululemon top, zip up top or whatever. And people started getting at them about her wearing Lululemon to this fancy rich restaurant.
Situation.
How do you guys feel about that? Duke, I need to hear your problematic thoughts immediately.
I think it's all about what the vibe is going to be. You know, I think if for both, if you said that what he's wearing was chill as well, then we're good. If it's a situation,
Well, it
where-
wasn't. It
No,
wasn't
no,
as
no,
chill
no.
as hers.
She
Definitely
looked
not.
like she just came from Pilates, and he looked
nah.
like he is a Brooklyn nigga
Yeah.
that
Oh, she's
knew
bugging.
that he was gonna go.
Is she
out.
bugging though?
yeah. What are you talking about? Why are you dressed like that? We're going out. I'm taking you out, and it's like it's supposed to be a night, and you're
But
dressed like
they
this.
also frequent this place.
They said
And
that they frequent it, but like the thing is that it was on Valentine's Day, right? So
Maybe
like
she
the
just came
optics
from work.
of all of it is kind of like, okay, this is Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think you would dress up. It's a quote unquote special occasion. You know what I mean? And then like your man, it's usually never the man that outdresses
Exactly,
the woman,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's like it's equivalent of your girl dressing up in heels and a nice dress, and you're wearing just
A hoodie.
hoodie and track pants, right?
I think we're.
And slides.
I think we're also projecting
And the
our
slides. I like how you threw in the and the
relationship
slides.
dynamics on just other people, and like I just don't think that every relationship has that same dynamic. I think with them, I don't think if she came in that, I don't think he had a problem with it. I think that's something that they're just used to.
facts.
They might have been together for a long time. This is not that special. Some people don't even care about Valentine's Day as well.
I don't think that it's fine that they don't care about it, but I understand why people would be like, wait,
I
why
don't.
is she wearing that?
I don't.
I understand why people would call that out.
Why? It's not you, and you don't have to wear it. So it's like, why are some people so concerned with what other people are wearing to a restaurant at their day?
I think
that's what I don't.
I
It's
think
everything.
people are commenting because it's not the norm. You see
I
somebody
understand
who are
that.
mismatched, and you're like, "What's going on over here?"
But it's like they were physically getting angry. Some saying that she shouldn't have been allowed in the restaurant. Like this is how
Whoa.
emboldened
That's a lot.
people were to strangers.
how fancy is this restaurant?
Exactly.
There's no fancy restaurant that's fancy enough for that. We
Is
see
there- is there-
endless
No, but
the
some-
other way all the time. Go
Some
to SDK,
restaurants,
niggas are in
some,
tech fleece.
some
Yeah, SDK 's over
restaurants, some
us.
restaurants have dress codes.
Yeah, that's
Some of them
they're-
do. Yeah,
Per se,
for
right?
sure.
So if that's what they're trying to allude to, that more fancy restaurants need dress codes,
They wouldn't
then
have gotten in?
Maybe, but that's my
They
point
wouldn't
exactly.
have gotten in.
And these people clearly frequented enough to be able to be comfortable
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And that's just fine.
I just don't
why
get
people
why-
are
I don't
projecting.
get why people
are
care
projecting
that much.
But you were saying that you think it's a flex to show up somewhere in your
Well,
cities.
yeah, no, I think that when you can create your vibe wherever you want, that's a flex. Like if you, let's say for example, there's a dress code there, and she still got in like that. Now people are looking at it like, oh shit,
Oh,
how'd
like
she get
her
in like
inside?
that? She must be important or something. She must, but and now you're like, now you're finding reasons for it to be okay for her to do that.
But that's just
instead
a
of being
paradigm
like,
shift.
she could do that.
Like we're just being fine with it anyways.
Just being fine with it anyways.
'cause it
But
actually-
you need a reason to justify why she's important enough to be able to do that.
because
and
it
I
actually
think that's
means
where I
nothing
find the
about
problem.
The actual situation. The actual situation means nothing because the actual reason why they're wearing something it has nothing to do with your dinner.
Exactly. So it was just very weird to me. And then he showed his girl. I hate when people also do this. So they overcompensate in defending. And he
Posted her in
showed
a
his
suit?
he posted his girl on the bed in lingerie
Oh.
with like the balloons and the rose petals and all that stuff, waiting for him to be like my sexy baby or whatever. Blah, blah. I'm like,
Fuck.
me personally wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some things are
you don't
just
have
for
to
you
do it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm definitely not doing it for strangers online.
yeah.
Maybe they want to get a come up, you know?
But it also made me think maybe they're not that rich after all. Maybe this isn't something that they're used to because why is he so gung ho on
On
fighting
making
this
it-
and
Social
making
media.
it known and proving himself?
She's very beautiful to me.
And it's like in one instance you're claiming you don't have to prove yourself while trying very very hard to prove yourself. So it made me question the whole thing. I don't know. I flipped back and
Well,
forth.
people
with this.
ganging up on you online may kind of force you to reconsider,
I can see why.
you know.
Yeah,
maybe they
I'm
want to
looking-
get a little lick off.
I'm looking at the photos, and I mean, it doesn't look
don't look
like it's
fancy enough for you to be able
super.
to-
Like these people look like they came from after work, like a happy hour, and that's why they're
Most
in the
people look
collar
like they on
shirt.
vacation.
Like, do you know what
Yeah,
I
but
mean?
is it
doesn't-
Valentine's night? You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
that's what
really-
that's what I'm
'cause
saying.
that's
Like,
what you're
I
alluding to,
understand
yeah.
Valentine's night. I understand overall if they do frequent there overall, and it isn't that big of a deal, then they're like, okay, this is what I usually pull up here.
Yeah.
But it's just that the fact that it is Valentine's Day, and it is everybody knows that it's a day that you usually try to,
And he
put your
proved that they
best-
made it a thing too.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing the rose petals and balloons afterwards, you can't now fall back on, oh, we just don't care about this day. Because
Yeah.
clearly there's some
So that's why,
thought
like, it
put
just
into
doesn't, I don't know, and it just doesn't add up. Like, who knows what situation she went through? Like, sure, maybe she did go through something, and I get if, he wants to defend his girl, that's great for him, but I don't know, I do understand why people would look at it crazy.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The whole table.
Mhm.
If you got caught on with your partner, on a day when one of you are just not looking your best,
Mhm.
and somebody just happened to flash a camera on you, now you're the main character on the front page of Twitter.
Yeah.
How would you defend your partner? I mean,
wouldn't.
let's
I
just put
wouldn't.
on the table and say
I don't think I would, bro.
we're not putting the photos of the flower petals on.
I don't think I would.
Did somebody catch us in a photo? Or
Like
did
you're
I
in a
post
photo.
the photo?
It's this
They
type of
posted
situation.
it.
Somebody else posted it
Someone else posted
per
it.
se. But these
Well,
people,
then I'm just pulling the whole, can't people just live card? Why are you guys
Can we all
filming
just get
strangers?
along?
Why are you filming strangers and all that stuff? But other than that, like if I post it, then I feel like my girl even has the right to come to me and be like, yo, what the fuck?
you need to take this down.
Because like, why would you post that?
Yeah, you hate me.
Why'd you put me in that situation?
But I don't think she looked crazy. Like,
I don't
think
either.
that
Feels
she
like they're
looked
just having a
beautiful, but
nice
she
time.
just looked like,
Out of place.
she was running errands. She got her maybe eyelashes done in the day. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
it didn't look like she had makeup on. She looked like her hair was pulled back, like she had
I don't think
a
any
band.
guy
She looked
noticed
like she
until
was
the woman.
coming from workout or about to go to one.
Yeah, I don't think any guy like
was the
me.
caption?
I saw the picture before the complaints,
question.
and I didn't notice that she was wearing that. I don't think most guys noticed what she was wearing until the woman started complaining
Yeah, I didn't
about
know
what
they-
she was
Do you
wearing.
want to screen share? I don't have the actual
On
tweet,
Valentine's
unless you
Day,
wanna send the
when
tweet.
somebody posts on
Yeah, I'll
Valentine's
post
Day,
it after.
what's
Okay.
who's
Yeah, I
the
posted
post
it
for?
on the Instagram, huh?
When somebody posts on Valentine's Day, who's the post for?
Who's the post for?
Yeah, who's it for?
Um,
question.
sometimes for your partner,
Sure,
low reinsurance.
sure, of course.
Validation.
Validation, obviously, and I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just want to celebrate your partner
Sure.
openly,
On
if
that
that
day.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people feel like their partner expects you to celebrate them openly.
Right. In that particular way
Yeah.
of posting them.
It's a lot of the things that we post, I find, is just societal pressures of oh, everybody posts this. I have to post
I
this.
must contribute.
I must. And
They asked
sometimes,
me,
even
so
if
I
you're a
have to.
private person, you have to have that discussion at the start of the relationship
Sure.
to be like, this is the type of person I am when it comes to these tentpole events.
Communication.
I will not be posting. And I will not be doing this and I will not be doing that. But then now when you do that in this day and age, people go, well, why?
Exactly.
Why can't you post it? Why are you so passionate about this not posting thing? And like, don't even the only way you can get out of this shit like that is being a Jehovah's Witness at this point. Honestly, I don't do Christmas. I don't do.
Actually, it's a religious celebration, and
You know what I mean? Like that's the only way you can get out of it ethically. I feel like at this point, now unless you are both on the same wavelength of privacy online.
for sure.
Sometimes you have a partner where you guys are both on the same wavelength about your posting habits, and sometimes you complete opposites. So got to figure it out. But I find even when you're complete opposites, the person who doesn't post that often assimilates to the person who posts often and hold them to that standard.
That becomes the standard.
That becomes the
high
standard,
watermark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But women like consistency, right? So you can't be that guy that's posting everything, and then now you're in a relationship like, no,
No, it's clear.
Yeah, no, you
very
can't.
safeguarded.
You can't change. You can't
it's like,
change.
no, you're the guy that posts
It's gotta be
everything.
consistent.
Yeah.
Gotta be consistent.
Changing patterns, and now she's like, okay, now I have to go through his phone at night because something's
What's going on?
Faith Evans just memorizing the tones.
Yep.
Yo, that was hilarious. What a crazy
That was
story.
crazy. Yeah, Faith Evans in an interview about Biggie said that she used to memorize phone
Does it still work?
dial, I guess, like keys
Yeah.
and the sounds, and
touch
she'd
tones.
call it back
Yeah.
based off the tones.
They all have a
still does
different.
it. Still does it.
And she's like 11773.
And she's there going like, and like checking it with her own voice
Insane.
to be like, no,
That's
that
not
wasn't
it.
it. No, that wasn't it. It's crazy, man.
That might be that might be.
Are they
an
crazy if
absurd
they
music
figure it out
accomplishment.
though? Because she did figure it out, and she did go to the hotel, and there was a woman there, and she did beat her up. So
She was just
she
following
wrong?
her intuition, man.
Sometimes that intuition be on.
I mean, the avenue in which she did the investigation, very committed.
Sometimes.
Very committed.
Sometimes that intuition be on, man. Drake's also doing Wireless Fest 3 nights.
Wow.
I'm looking up flights.
3 nights.
I'm excited.
I'm looking up flights. First night, Drake, Party Next Door, Summer Walker. Second night, Drake and the Mandem. And then third night, Drake, Burna Boy, and Vibes Cartel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mamma Mia. I just want to be there for that third night.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
bad.
I've seen Burna. I've seen Drake. You know who I'm there for, man. Mr. Can't Sell Out to come.
Are you done? Are you
Every week, my argument gets stronger and stronger.
Sell it a foreign.
Man just won a mobile award tonight.
Listen, man, you got it. I'm not gonna put you got it. We'll see if he comes to Toronto. Can he sell out Scotiabank twice?
Oh my gosh.
Surely.
You're still questioning it.
Listen, you got
Sure.
You said I got it, but you're still questioning it.
No, I'm not saying anything
You are
now.
saying something.
for now.
For now.
We'll see. For now.
I guess we'll see in July when he's at Wireless Festival, because Wireless holds like it's a lot of people that pull up,
Yeah,
right?
over 50,000.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Yeah, what's
see
the
how many of
stadium
those
situation?
50,000 people.
I'll tell you right
know,
now.
Vibe songs.
I'll tell you right now. Every UK person I'm following is going. They're all influencers, and they're all talking about how people. This is going to be the widest range of people they'll
They
ever
ever
see
seen
at
there.
Wireless. Because usually Wireless is
a
like
long, big
it's their Rolling
cross-section.
Loud. It's like a young boy thing. You know what I mean? And for the first time, they're like, you're gonna see people 70 and up.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Barry
see
Yardy's pulling up to vibes.
Oh, every Yardie in the city's gonna be there, brother. Every single one.
For
And
that
they have a
specific
lot
show.
for that specific show.
Yeah.
And they have a large Caribbean community, a large African community, both gonna be there that one night for Burna and Vibes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
Crazy
Yeah.
combo.
It's gonna
Let me
be
go get the
insane.
ticket right now.
And then we get,
How much are tickets?
Then we get Burna Boy Vibes
much are
Cartel
tickets going
music
for?
from that probably. Come on, man. Drake, Burna, and Vibes on one song.
Dangerous.
Drake's a smart man, you know. He left. He said, "Let me go back to the international community."
I'm really liking the game
embrace my
plan right
brethren.
now. Not gonna lie, I'm liking the game plan right now.
It's smart.
Go where it's been scarce.
I feel like a fucking shot. I gotta pee so bad.
Stop drinking water,
Bro,
It's a long story.
He's Norm right now. He's Norm.
Booty critis, man.
Brother,
Booty
grow-
critis, man.
brother, grow up.
Fucking 8-year-olds. Nah, keep it locked in.
Your voice killed me. Why is the door locked?
NBA All-Star Weekend just passed. Top 3 worst I've ever seen in my life. In my life.
Really?
Yeah, the old heads versus this thing is just not. That's not the way. It's not the way.
Brother,
It's got to go back to
The
East
whole
West.
thing needs to be fucking revamped, man. I don't know what they did with that All-Star game night, but we scrapping that fucking format forever. That shit was dumb as hell.
was interesting.
There was a stat that came up. They were speaking for 2 hours and a half, and they played for only 33 minutes.
There was a lot of like other things. 80 minutes for
Distraction and
ads.
That's how you knew the NBA knew this was not gonna work
Yeah.
because they fluffed it. Like they filled it with so much fluff.
The Mr. Beast.
The Mr. Beast moment was the only cool moment, and Mr. Beast almost ruined it. Mr. Beast there yelling every time the nigga put up a shot, 100,000, and he's missing the shots every single time. Dame got pissed. Dame literally moves Mr. Beast out the way and stands in between him and the player, and that's when the guy scores.
Yep.
Buzzer beater.
Buzzer beater to go
Unfortunately-
before the commercial break, wins $100,000.
These guys don't, because they're trying to get all this media talent that has never maybe been at a basketball game before, or maybe never been to All-Star game before, and have not been maybe on the floor participating in this type of way. And sometimes they're gonna dilute the situation. You know, it's just a helpful guardrail. Hey guys, maybe let's
Contingency
make
plan.
make this interesting, but also don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
It's not a crazy idea.
Well, it worked out, thankfully. Shout out to Dame for missing those shots. I know he wasn't trying to score those shots. Yeah, that guy winning 100,000, biggest highlight. You got a bunch of flops. You got Wemby and CP3 being eliminated from the skills competition. First elimination from a skills competition.
Yeah.
First disqualification from a skills competition I've ever seen. They literally just said, we're not going to try to
This
get
actually isn't the
anything
point.
in.
No.
We're just going to go fast.
If I go fast enough, I'll make the time.
And if they allowed that, then they would have won, and that would have set a new precedent and it would just become a sprint.
It would have devolved.
It would have just devolved into
Now
a
we're just doing
sprint.
suicides.
Dunk off.
Man.
Anticlimactic.
So what's the thoughts on having Mr. McClung come back again? And then send him right back
I
to
think
the
it's
G League?
cheating.
Some people were like, yo, bring him back again for a 4th one.
Is
I
he just
think
going to
it-
be his thing now?
I
Like,
think
is he
it's
just a halftime show guy?
stupid.
He plays in the G League still,
He should
right?
be very
So,
insulted, but also that money, you can't be that insulted.
Yeah.
You're winning $300,000. It's more than your actual paycheck.
But
Yeah.
surely next year, like nobody's going to watch it because they know he's going to show up and he's going to do it again.
Mm,
Like they have to.
well,
Surely
this-
they're going to. Everybody's talking about like by all things, like
This-
the crown jewel of the dunk contest is like
Yeah,
this is the worst.
Well, this is the thing about when the All-Star weekend gets bad, is that the stars start to perk up
Then they're like, okay,
and
it's our
be
time.
like, guess I gotta save the league. And so John Morant's already online talking about, yo, put up $1 million and I'll join that dunk off. And then he tagged
Doable.
Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon.
Aaron, they said have all
Giannis
of
said,
them.
I'm down if you guys are in.
They should dunk off against these Instagram. These guys.
Absolutely.
That
They would-
should be the.
But they would
that's-
lose, and that's why they will never do it.
Yeah, they would lose.
Team Flight Brothers would fuck them up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, fuck them
Well,
up. There's a nigga
okay.
from,
I'm
was
not
it
saying you picked
Pickering?
the best
Jordan?
one.
Yes.
White boy in jeans.
Oh, that Jordan
in
kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
jeans,
yeah,
he'll
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
them up.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen him do crazy things in jeans, bro. Yeah. They did the G League
Yeah.
dunk off.
Yes.
It was a G League dunk off,
So
and
is
he won that shit
Is the
like
key
easily.
Is the key now to have like dunks that are like performative, like all these like windmill shit, or is it dunk? Because the players are just guys who
The
just dunk
key is
commands
to
and
do
traffic.
shit you see on Instagram and not just some things you think of with some props. The guys that are doing dunks on Instagram that we see are like,
Technical
bro, it doesn't
ability.
matter how many times you see that. Whoa.
Wild. Yeah.
Whoa.
Are they like, flipping and stuff going into
I
it?
saw
don't
a
know.
man bounce the ball, jump up, catch it with the other leg through his legs, catch it with his other arm through his legs, and windmill it
Off the
with
bounce.
one hand.
In
Off the
air.
bounce.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense, bro.
Because that's all these. It's an artistry, but it's a single artistry. And
Yeah.
and to get the players in, these
Yeah.
guys don't want to practice all that shit.
We also want the one-on-one.
Yes.
We see, especially right now when we're seeing the
about
women
time,
The women's one,
put
yeah.
their brands on the line in Unrivaled League and do the one-on-one. Who was the winner again? Nafisa?
I
Is
don't
that
even
her
know.
na-
She
her name?
won? It finished? I didn't know.
Is that her name, Nafisa? The,
Yeah, Nafisa Collier.
Is it
Yeah,
Utah
her.
she plays for?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
She's
that's-
one of the co-founders of the league as
of
well.
Unrivaled.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed. No, you can't fix it. It's a one-on-one, man. And that's the great thing about it is like it's just pure skill. And if are you a scorer or not? But a lot of these guys don't want to put their brands on the line.
Oh yeah, it was Nafisa that did it. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't want to put their brands on the line.
350,000.
I honestly don't know. I don't get it when it's fellow NBA players. Like I get it if it's like, you know, you're going, oh, NBA versus
Like
G
get cooked
League.
by Durant. That's Durant. Like, what are we talking about?
You see what I'm
know?
saying? So it's like I think it would be fun. I think a lot of these guys need to get over their ego and stop thinking that All-Star Weekend is a vacation. It's not. It's
Somebody-
a
If you're
privilege.
not in it, it's
No,
a vacation.
but the guys that are in it are treating it like a
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is like you don't have that competitive spirit there because everybody's friends and everybody's chilling.
Yeah.
I really think that they would rather be on vacation.
Of course.
You know?
They're envious. A part of I feel like the resentment comes from the fact that all their teammates are out in Cancun, Cabo, like they're all over the place.
Having a ball.
Having a ball with family, with friends.
It's a family time too.
You know what I mean?
So do you think that maybe the All-Star break should actually be a break where these people who
they do get a break
participate-
though. So these 2 days, like today
Yeah.
and yesterday, was no
Nothing.
basketball.
Yeah.
They're not back till Thursday, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you get like if you have a certain schedule, you could be off for almost 2 weeks if you're not an all-star.
It's like March break.
Yeah.
Lakers play tomorrow. Only game.
The only game, right? Yeah. Because it's Wednesday. Yeah.
Bill Simmons said that to make the All-Star game more interesting, you make the young performers, like the young up-and-comers, if you aren't a top 5 seed, you have to play a Saturday game. And then the Sunday game is if you're a top 5 seed and over, if you're an All-Star and a top 5 seed.
Nah.
So that makes,
No.
and the only reason you do that is you get playoff. You get playoff position.
Just do that.
court
Period. Just do that. Period. Yeah.
But
you
it,
just
but it
do
makes
East
if
versus
you,
West.
If you're not a top 5 seed, who gives a fuck about home court? If you're top 5 seed, this is going to actually change something for if you have 2 guys on your team who are an all-star. All of a sudden, you guys can actually buddy up and actually make this happen. Say if you're a 2 seed or a 1 seed, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this actually makes this more interesting. Just to give a little bit more of an incentive outside of the bag.
But I feel like once you make it just East versus West, doesn't matter who, then you have each side playing for their conference. Like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? And that level of competitiveness, I think, it will trump it because now any of us,
It can still be
all
East
we have to
versus
do
West.
is get to there, and any of us can get it.
Facts.
now. So we're all gonna go in. Whereas I feel like if you're doing the top 5. Top 1 and 2 are gonna go super hard,
Facts.
and then the bottom feeders are just gonna like, oh well, it won't be us probably, so we'll just chill. Like, if you make it where it's like anybody can get it on this side of the conference, I feel like you get a better thing. Plus, I feel like the NBA needs to invoke some WWE. I feel like we need to
make
get a
some
little
heels.
fake.
A little drama.
I think we need to get a little fake.
Do you not think this Luka trade is fake enough?
No.
You don't think there was a little bit of tampering?
Absolutely, there was tampering.
No,
don't
but
think
I
it
mean,
was-
but like by the league. Not
Oh yeah,
by-
no.
I think the league was
absolutely.
just like, let's just let this one go through.
LeBron
guys.
is done 2 years. I'm pretty sure he's given them his like 2-year notice. It's
Some
like,
people are saying that his farewell tour might be next year because they're doing the All-Star in LA. So like that could be a part of the farewell tour.
yeah, I guess. But I
Is
feel
the
like that would
Olympics-
be more fitting for Cleveland.
The Olympics next year.
Where
Paris? Where's that?
not the Olympics.
Didn't
The
this
Olympics are
It's in LA.
2026.
26.
26, yeah. 26. 26.
It's 28. It
26.
was 2024.
I don't know.
When was the last
Olympics.
one?
Did we?
It was in Paris,
2028,
right? It was
yeah.
in Paris last year,
2028,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Winter's
Winter's coming
2026.
up. Yeah, winter's on the site.
That's what
half
it is. Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Utah again.
yeah. LA's getting everything kind of at once.
Yeah.
LA punted on the Olympics. They're supposed to get the Paris Olympics.
FIFA too.
But then they're like, actually, yeah. And they're
World
like,
Cup.
actually, well.
They
we'll
got World
pass.
Cup coming up too in
Yeah,
2026.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. Is World Cup 2026.
But that's like us, USA, and Mexico.
Yeah,
Mexico.
it's
Yeah.
The
NAFTA.
Americas.
The NAFTA games. Does NAFTA even exist anymore?
No,
Trump?
it's
USD.
USMCA.
Yeah, that shit.
Oh, it's gonna be something else now after.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, I think they need to go WWE route. I think they need to get more messy. Let's dive into the messy bag. Like, they should be a baby mom's game on the Friday night.
Do you think if the
I feel like
if the big three did that, I would watch.
baby mom's game for, oh, come on, man. Even a baby mom 1v1, like a King's Court. Winner gets a baby.
Winner gets a baby.
Wow.
Cue the East to me.
So Anthony Edwards.
Would win.
No, what if his baby moms went against each other? And
Well,
he'd
he's
be
gotta
like, I'll
approve
give you
the
another
baby.
baby.
He's got to approve the baby living first. Because
Yeah.
that nigga's different, bro.
He'd be aborting them left, right, and
Bro, I
center.
never seen a nigga post laughing emojis
does.
in an abortion text. That shit was crazy to me.
Yeah. Kind of heartless.
That shit, he is
That's
ruthless.
Yeah.
That was
Like, ruthless. I read those texts and I was like,
heartless.
is this nigga laughing?
Yeah.
didn't even tap the
and
brakes.
what's and
And
what's
Shorty
crazy?
was like, not even being that wild to him. She was being pretty rational and just laying it out like, this is how I feel. This is what I did. And he's just like, all right, bet. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Wow.
I was like, yo, these are one of those times where I look at some shit and I go, niggas, you can do that?
But that's what I was saying is that then these girls are going to continue to get potentially pregnant by
My
him.
mom did a great job. I'm telling you, my mom did all of our moms did a great job.
I say this all the time. When you really start meeting
Bar is low
Mm-hmm.
different
a lot.
people, you're like, wow.
Wow.
Wow. I'm really blessed.
Yeah.
You have to go again?
No. I'm good for now.
What's going on?
I can't talk about it.
You have to now.
Please don't do that. That's actually making it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a nervous peer?
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait. So okay. 2 + 2. Got it. But yeah, no. NBA blend reality with fake.
If they're gonna do it, let's just make sure you hire the script writers. You know, like we get good script
We
writers.
need Vince in there.
Don't make it a bad story.
We need Vince.
I mean,
Legend
Linda
in 2 leagues,
McMahon.
like he's Pee Wee Kirkland.
Linda McMahon's in education. She might like rig up the NCAA with some stuff. Yeah, Linda McMahon is now the Department of
Department of
Education.
Education.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a
That's
true
crazy.
Yeah,
story.
woman who got pile drived numerously. Slapped by her own daughter, who acted like a mute and she wasn't even acting like a paraplegic. She was acting mute.
She was in a coma
for a while. There was the coma, but I'm talking about when she was in a wheelchair, just not talking for a couple weeks. And watching
This is
her
insane.
man make out with Trish Stratus while she's like acting like she's motionless in a wheelchair.
On live TV, on the ramp.
She is the Department of Education lead right now. She's leading education.
America's going down.
Been down.
Yeah.
Been down.
America, we have a problem.
Is our children learning?
Are they left behind? Were they even picked up? Speaking of picked up, Chloe and Burna Boy.
Bailey, not
Chloe Bailey.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
I guess we do have to say that when we're attaching it to a black
At this point, yeah.
Take us out the group chat. I beg you. I'm begging you,
beg.
please. I'm begging you, please. This is so awkward for me. I feel uncomfortable watching it. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be there.
Why?
It just feels invasive.
Oh,
And I feel like I'm just watching her wait for another
no
round
show.
of sex. Every single time they show a video,
Yeah.
she just looks like she's waiting for another round.
maybe. Yes.
And you know when a girl loves a dick and she just indulges
The
in whatever you
African
like?
giant.
Y'all crazy. That's crazy.
You hear her?
Hey.
Horny Ace has entered the building. Friggin' yeah, no, it just she. You know when a girl like is loving the sex and so she starts like asking about like characters in the show you watch. Like she starts a vague interest. She starts like learning anime. Like this is the mode she's in right now. Like she's just sitting around backwood smoke. Never seen that before with Chloe Bailey in my life.
So George and Jerry
Just
hang
listen
out
to-
all the time?
I mean, he took her horseback riding.
I bet he did. I bet he did.
In the ocean. Along the coast.
He's a sick man.
Yeah.
He's a sick man. Speaking of which, how many women with the men in the room? Obviously, you're a woman. You have interests. We're not gonna ask you. For the men in the room, what's a percentage of the women that you've talked to that have interests
That's good. What?
What are the percentage of women that,
that have
interests?
interests?
I don't have interests. For
Like
real.
things outside. You do. You like
Yeah.
sneakers. You like Beyonce.
I feel like I don't anymore.
But you had interests at least at some point.
I'm just depressed.
So what
Survival
percentage
mode. Yeah.
of women would you
Survival.
say have interests, like real hobbies and things that they do outside of themselves?
They have to
and
spend money,
niggas?
bro. They have to spend money. That's what it is.
That's not an interest. That's
No, I would say no.
Shopping.
Listen, I can't speak for y'all. I've only known interesting women.
okay.
Just talk about it.
I've only.
I don't know.
I've
He's
only-
lying, by the way, but it's cool.
Yeah, big one.
Because I know some of the women that, yeah, he's lying. he's bullshit.
That being said,
I hate the woman he talked to. 'Cause they
I would
set
say,
themselves
like-
with real women.
I would say like 20%, which is a high number than more men that would like to admit. But a lot of guys that just didn't ask a lot of good questions because a lot of niggas
They just don't know how to talk.
they're not. There's no interest. You personally are not interested in what this woman is trying to say, so you're
Yeah.
not gonna go find nothing out.
Facts.
So you know, I'm gonna cut that off from.
And
you.
actually, the less you know, the less you're on the hook for things.
You understand? I see you've been to a seminar yourself.
You say too much, man.
But you know, I would say about 20% have like incredibly interest, and a lot of other people are just kind of like, you know, this is occupying my time today.
I talk to many interesting women. 20%.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a large
That's a
number, though.
large.
Because my percentage is much lower. Much lower. I don't know many women that have interests outside themselves.
Seriously?
Facts.
I disagree.
I don't know many women that have interests. Like I'm talking about in terms of women I've dated.
Okay.
The women that I've dated that have interests become my girlfriend usually. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But the ones that don't, I find it's just a focus on self and like, I don't even want to say opportunity, but like it's just mostly on self. There's not really much they do outside of the usual things that everyone does, if that makes sense.
Oh, there's not maybe an originality to what
There's
they're
nothing
trying
that
to
they
do.
can escape to that other people aren't also doing.
It's just
Well,
theirs.
That's
se.
just theirs kind of thing. Like, I don't know, coloring. Like there's a whole like wave of women that are coloring right now. That's
Oh,
like
I see
taking
what
over
you're,
TikTok.
I see
and
what
shit.
you're saying.
know
Like
what I
they're
Like they don't knit no more.
They
People
don't
don't
knit,
bake
yeah.
anymore. They don't.
or
You
you're
know
trying
what
to
I'm
say
saying?
like the hobbies that they're even getting are not like self-generated. They're kind of like I saw it on TikTok, so I guess I'm gonna do
That
this.
too. That too. But I'm not
But
mad
no.
at that. I'm not mad at that.
At least you're
because at
trying.
least you're trying to do something.
You're
I'm talking
trying
about
to-
the women
You
that
don't
aren't
know.
doing
You don't know anything.
anything.
Nothing.
They just go out, Instagram, social media, and that's it. Their entire
Yeah.
interest is pop culture for the most part. If we're gonna put it under an umbrella, it's pop culture.
Yeah, that's a significant, but it's not 100%. It's
be
not
cool.
like 90% of women.
No, I
That is
wouldn't
not
say
it.
that. It's not. I'm saying of women I've talked to. I'm not saying this is women in general because I've been to dodgeball leagues where half our team is women.
Sure.
I've done tons of activities where women are there and they're doing things. So it's not like this is just everyday women.
A single digit of interest, like finding or dating women or being involved with women with interesting hobbies, single digit seems low.
Yeah, yeah.
Out of friends of yours, would you say like
you would know them differently than we would know them. Would you say that is a higher number, or do you think that is maybe accurate, that there's a
And think outside of
a
career as well.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up, is that I think a lot of people, like I even know for myself, is that it's career, right? It has been career, just like what do I need to do to grow my career? Now it's like kid, right?
Sure.
Making sure she's alive.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just don't think about those other things.
Right.
You know? I
But
think that
surely there's
You're
interest.
single,
I think
motherless, childless friends, though.
yeah, I think that my childless friends, I think that they do a lot more interesting things. I have one friend that does like literally everything.
I know which one you're talking about. She does a lot of different things.
Delia.
She's a completely. That's an anomaly, though.
Yeah.
Do you see how like you
She'll
can like
do
notice
everything.
that
But
she
she's
does?
like a serial entrepreneur, but for hobbies. Like she's like, now I
She'll
rock
try
climb now.
everything. Yeah. She'll go to bingo.
But the majority of your
she'll knit.
girlfriends are not like that.
I feel some have a little, but nothing crazy.
And I
but
don't-
I also think it's because they're so career focused.
This is what I wanted to
That's
say.
it.
I don't think it's of any fault of
I
their
don't-
own. I'm not
yeah.
here saying that women are uninteresting and
I don't
boring.
have the friends that are the ones that just go out to party. I don't have those
Yeah.
friends. My friends are like, okay, I'm working and I'm focused on my career.
My life
and
is
just
my
like,
hobby. Improving
Yeah.
my life
Yeah.
is something like
Exactly.
working on
Yeah.
themselves.
Exactly.
If you will.
But I know there are women who is just like, okay, I work so that I could look good to go to a party and be on social media, and that's pretty much it.
I say this because, like, obviously we see the divorce rates rising. We see more single women now than ever before. And I'm wondering if getting into a relationship stabilizes you in a sense where you can look at and find other interests and things to do. Whereas now women feel like they're in a survival mode almost, where they have to be career focused, and if they lose sight of that or waver off, another man might take their place or another woman might take their place.
I think
and so
it-
they're just tunnel vision on one thing.
I think I understand what you're trying to like say, and that could be it. But I also think there are women who lose their hobbies when they do get into relationships, because now it's just like my man, and they no longer do. That's why
Facts.
a lot of therapists will say, well, what was the last thing that you have done for yourself?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what was, what hobbies do you have for yourself, even though you're in a relationship? A lot of women will attach themselves to men's hobbies. So if they,
Right.
If the dick is good
I
enough,
go
what's the
where he
anime
goes.
characters?
yeah,
Oh, he's
now all
into
of a
this
sudden I'm
thing.
watching anime
Right.
and I'm golfing,
Yeah,
know? And
right.
that's because they want to attach to their men
Yeah,
and
I
have
see.
that time.
Right.
And then they just lose their own. So I don't know if their people in relationships are necessarily not doing.
Okay.
I think the people in relationships are doing hobbies, but they're most likely doing a hobby, like
Together.
a couple hobby, right? And the single ones, I think that women who are a lot more whole, they will try to find some type of hobby.
Sure.
Unless
I think we actually
career
talked.
is
You
their,
know
like,
what? You raised
don't know
a good
if that
point.
makes sense.
No,
Like-
I think you nailed it, because I think saying that your life is busy. Life is very stressful. Your career becomes very stressful, especially as you get older, and you get more invested in it, and that becomes kind of like a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And then taking care of your family, especially as you get older, not only just if you have kids, but also your aging parents, and then
where
even
you are in life.
yeah, and your responsibilities, and
Yeah.
suddenly even being able to be good at those responsibilities requires you kind of making it your hobby. To
Yeah.
be good at finance, you kind of have to like sit on YouTube for like
Yeah,
20 hours
yeah.
and be like, oh, now I understand how to save money. Oh, okay, cool. But that's taken up so much time that you would ordinarily maybe would have been doing something else. And I think that's maybe just people. I think maybe women wear it a little differently, because like we see them as like, oh, we saw you in this particular capacity, now you're missing in this other capacity.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's accurate. I think people become busy. People maybe are more visually doing something more exciting just because it's on Instagram. But I know people who have very full careers as women with like families, and also they're like, oh, but like with this family time, I have been able to generate this new hobby with them, or
Yeah.
in tandem with them, or
But see, because
It's
they're
a little
not, I feel like they're not, the women you're describing aren't in survival mode. And that's where I'm like,
I think that's a deficit mindset, man.
yeah, but that's, I would say that's the majority of people that I've encountered, is they're in that mindset of like, I need to get to this place, so I'm gonna devote all my time to get there. I'm not going to take any time off for myself. I need to be entrenched 10,000 hours. And you hear a
The
lot
whole,
of
"I'll
this like
sleep when I die."
Yeah, you hear a lot of this
Yeah.
like self-made
Sure,
hustler
a lot of
rhetoric that like
Bullshit.
is
I hate that
bullshit,
shit. I
and
hate
it's
it.
like it leads people to an obsession with something that at the end of the day may not even fulfill them.
That hustler, like, you know those reels that come across when you're having a nice day, you know, you maybe looked at some child have a nice little time in class and
Yeah.
you scroll and this guy's like, you're not working hard enough.
Get off your ass.
You got it. And this girl's like, I've poured everything I own in these glass containers and I've labeled them and like, you should do these things. And you're stuck being like, surely people can't live these lives like that. And you realize those are just those people's hobbies. Like they are just hyper addictive to that.
I was gonna say that
Could be anything.
creating content can be a hobby,
absolutely.
but once you take it to the point where you're constantly wanting to monetize it, then it's just a job. Or if you like start
is a
doing
job.
content only to produce money and not to actually fulfill your passion, things that you like that entertain you, and you're just like, okay, I need to do this because I know it's gonna work, and I'm gonna have a brand partnership, and I'm gonna get whatever. Yeah.
So Beyonce.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, now we potting. Let's go.
So you think that? So you think
Those
that
are
Beyonce?
hobbies. Yes, I've been saying.
I think Beyonce monetizes every hobby and
She
things
has.
that interest that she has.
I exactly think this.
I
was
think she
just telling somebody
monetizes.
this today.
This is what I brought up to them when she brought out the her uncle's moonshine.
The
That's it, gonna be
drink,
selling.
Sir
yes,
Davis.
yes.
I was like, what is Beyonce gonna keep for herself? Like, I was like, at what point is monetizing your family heirlooms and secrets? Like, when is it gonna come to a point where it's like you just keep some
I
things to
feel
yourself?
like the Sir Davis thing is for her son, right? Obviously named Sir.
Yeah.
And because he's not really in the public eye,
Why do you think that is? By
some
the way,
people are saying that he might have autism.
okay.
Nobody, like, they haven't confirmed that. Who knows?
They brought that up when he wasn't there at the Super Bowl with Jay-Z and
Yeah,
Blue
but
and
he
Rumi.
never really goes anywhere. Like
Yeah.
when he was on tour, you see Rumi, who was like watching. You don't really see.
But we don't even know if he might be there.
You
We
don't
just
see
don't see
Sir
him
like
visually.
that.
Oh, no, no.
Somebody
He's not there at all.
Yeah, no, we don't see him.
hiding maybe.
Yeah, maybe in the
Like,
back
yeah.
room or something, but
Yeah. He apparently, from I don't know which family member said it, they're like, he doesn't gravitate to the
a crowd
spotlight.
guy.
Like obviously we know Blue Ivy, she's been in the spotlight her whole life, and this is something that she seems to be like wanting to do.
embracing,
Rumi is doing the same thing. She wants to be in the spotlight.
sister type.
Like she,
like,
I
"Oh my
think,
God, I
has
wanna
even
do it."
more of a bubbly personality than Blue Ivy does. And based off of that whatever conversation was, I don't think that Sir wants the same thing. So I don't know if it is like autism. It might be, and they might just be trying to save him because of all the ridicule.
overstimulated. He might
Yeah.
he might be neurodivergent.
Yeah, all the ridicule
kid who
that
doesn't
Blue
wanna be
Ivy
around
went through,
more.
they're probably like, okay, we don't really want. So it's very rare that you see him. So that's when I was actually
feels
thinking
like
about
that's
this
a natural
today
connection for
with
maybe
Sir
to do
Davis, is that he's not going to be the household name like Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy is going to be the next Beyonce in some capacity, right? Rumi is going to be something.
You can tell.
Sir, maybe not. So it's like, okay, let me create something that he could
That
just
makes a lot of
have
sense.
in his pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without him actually having to be involved. So I think that that's what
can
that
see
is
that.
from.
Yeah.
And it makes sense with the Cowboy Carter stuff, whatever.
The Levi's feels like she maybe has been a friend, like a big fan of like the Levi's commercials, because you can tell she's really like, I want my own campaign. And I think maybe she was very controlled in how her media persona was for many years.
Yeah.
And now she's like, I have money to just work with these people. I don't really care if it loses money. Ivy Park, I don't care if it loses money. I just wanted to do an
But
Adidas collab.
I think that's something, it's like you do have these interests, right? And it's like, if I'm this person, why can't I monetize my interest?
Precisely that.
Right?
Precisely that.
And then when it doesn't work, or if it doesn't work, then I move on.
Yeah.
Sure.
And maybe, and I think, and what you're, if I understand what you're saying, is that why wouldn't she keep some of these kind of more personal things?
I just feel like some of them I personally wouldn't put out there and monetize. But I, like she said, like if you are in the position to do so, you know, why not? I'm not getting mad at her for doing it. I'm just wondering why. Like it just seems like there's some certain things that are the family's thing and not the world's thing. And she's kind of making it the world's thing. By
But I
putting it out
also
there.
think that she's because now that I'm thinking about even the hair stuff, right? She has spoke about Tina having the hair salon and her growing up in the hair salon and doing all, and her being a part of Destiny's Child in many ways. I kind of feel like Tina has a good percentage of Sacred, right? It was like her formula.
Oh, yeah,
So it's kind of like, I feel like these businesses are in a way are just setting up other people to make more money, right?
Or
That could make a lot of sense.
you raise a
That's a
great
good point.
point. Or is she I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but is she bringing these things a platform that she felt deserved a platform that maybe her family tried to make at one point a business,
Very
and
possible.
maybe they weren't received well because of they were black and because of the time that they're in, and now she's like,
Barriers.
we're able to actually put this out in the way that they wanted it to be put out,
Absolutely.
and why not?
Makes a lot of sense.
Because even with the Uncle Johnny,
Yeah.
he was the
Johnny
original
made
like
my dress.
hairstylist guy, right? Or the stylist,
He was a seamstress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he taught
Tina
Tina how to,
make stuff.
which in turn
Tina was the one
benefited the
that
Destiny's Child,
did Destiny's Child
House of
because
Darion.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, maybe it's more of a rewriting history for her family.
Because everything that she launches has some type of tie, right?
Yeah.
To her family or her brand. And I
Even
don't know.
the fragrance.
Yeah. So Celine, it's like it's part
Or
Beyonce, SE,
Uh-huh.
and her mom's name is Celestine. You know what I mean? There's always like something
Yeah.
that's a little bit deeper that connects back to her family.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
also
it's
just
her
good
interest,
marketing.
but then it's also, it's good marketing.
Good marketing.
But it's also like, okay, let me just do this because we can.
We can.
And I
Right.
think this is a rich
Because we
person's
can.
hobby, is
Yeah.
to start businesses.
Yeah.
It
And they're
really
like,
is.
yeah, let me
It really
let me
is.
start this. It'll pay off some debt for
Some
some
of
folks.
the younger
Start a good idea.
Some of the younger artists aren't doing it as organically, and I feel like it might be to their detriment. Like Meg just dropped a drink, and the branding for it
What was the drink?
is very odd. Please look it up. Please look up the. I want you to specifically to see the advert, like the way that they branded it. She's
Is
like
it on her
dressed kind of like a
Instagram?
Vegas girl.
Do you feel? Oh, do
and
you
it's
feel
like a
like a
Spanish
showgirl?
naming, yeah, and it's kind of like a Spanish name.
Disaronno?
Drink. I don't know what it's. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember seeing the picture for it and being
Oh,
like,
it's not.
this
it's
doesn't
like
look
the
like Meg at all.
costume.
Do you?
like
It's,
this
it's
doesn't-
all about like how this idea is getting generated. Like if it's something that you want to do as the artist,
Yeah.
then maybe there's an idea to like land the vision.
I think also the other problem is that she's
Chica?
friends with Beyonce, and Beyonce has told all the girls that like look up to her in the
Yeah.
industry, you need a drink.
Really?
Yeah,
You need to get in the alcohol.
you need to get
business.
into the alcohol business. You need to get a drink.
It's Chica
Seriously?
Divertas.
And I
Something
find
like
that
that.
kind of odd.
It's a tequila, which I think is not on brand because when we learned about Megan Thee Stallion, she was drinking a cognac.
Yeah,
So I feel
Ride
like
the boat.
she should have.
Oh,
Ride the boat.
Yeah.
If she did an alcohol, I don't think that she shouldn't do an alcohol drink because she,
I don't think that she
drove
should.
that. well-
for the reasons that we know that
Is
she
that
shouldn't.
she's a whatever.
yeah. But
But-
also, like, if she's going to do it, like you said, definitely a cognac and definitely something to do with the boat.
Honestly, something that has to do with anime. That's one of her hobbies.
That too?
Like
That
figure
too?
out how
and
you
that
can
would
A
be
sake
merge.
would have been sick. A sake would have been sick.
See in a
This,
circle.
I'm not
See in a
sure.
circle.
Like you're
This doesn't
See in a
look
circle.
even. It doesn't. I don't know.
No, this looks
like you're not Brazilian. Like this isn't a part of your
Unfortunately,
culture.
even
Like,
worse is that
I've never seen you drink tequila.
it looks, but it looks like they didn't put thought into doing it
Thank
either.
you.
Like they just
No.
kind of like copy and pasted it.
And
I think-
Which makes it
photoshopped her
look
into,
cheaper.
like, yeah, it's
That's
and
unfortunate.
This is the type of stuff that looks transparently like a money grab.
You know what? I think that they reached out to her. A company was like,
And
okay,
paid a
I'm
stupid
creating
amount of
this
money.
and we're going to
Of course, there's
let
a
you do
crowd as
it.
the-
And then she says, okay, I want part of it.
Yeah.
And now I'm the face of it, right?
No, that's fair. I can see
Yeah,
that.
we've seen Vincent Chase do that. So, avion, little avion. Before we
Wasn't
get
that
Gabe
Jeezy?
out of here.
Yeah, Jeezy's Avion.
Oh no, I was talking about the TV show.
the-
Yeah, the TV show Avion is the tequila and it's a family
Jesus,
business. and
Evian
Turtles
water?
trying to get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get Gabe out of here, our political pundit. Obviously, the U.S. tariffs.
There's very few things I can talk about, but I'll ask me and I'll be able to.
U.S. tariffs. How the way Doug Ford's handling this?
Well, tariffs are more of a national thing. Doug is maybe trying to posture like
I feel
Like
Yeah.
he's
going to
trying
the
to put it
States.
on
That's
his
what I
back,
wanted
like,
to-
I'm
yeah.
doing this.
And you know what?
Like,
This-
do we have the power button in Ontario? Is that why he's acting like that?
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
there's and I will not slight Ontario because for all the things I crap on Doug Ford for, he's actually very good at being like, I'm the guy that when somebody needs to convene everybody,
Yeah.
he's the first guy to be like, all right, I'm sitting down at the table and we're getting
Yeah,
everybody together, which is good. It's important. Unfortunately, what you do with that is not impactful. You know, you're going down to the States. Yeah, you're not taking. First of all, you go down to the States to Washington to have this conference with all these American counterparts, and all the media gets there and they're like, "There's no American counterparts. There's
Oh, wow.
There's just us."
So you guys,
So
it
wait,
was
he
what,
showed
waste-
up and
it was
Went to the
wasted
States. It was a
effort?
Photoshop. It was a photo job situation. You get out there, you maybe shake some hands, maybe you take some meetings, and a lot of people do that. But the way Doug does it is he does it for like self benefit.
Well, yeah.
And there's not an ability to be like, we're in a very serious time. You're dealing with a very tough government.
was he wearing the hat?
He was not wearing the hat.
Pussy.
I got a lot of feelings about the hat. I'll say
Yeah.
that. Listen, I'll say that to say that Doug has a lot of opportunity to be very helpful here. Talking about power generation with the water, talking about working with a lot of manufacturing. A lot of car manufacturing happens in Ontario. A lot of a part of a car could travel between the border like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
Because each different factory is making one part. And,
Apparently, we
it comes
provide
together.
1.3 million Americans with
Easily.
electricity.
Yeah, all of
We could
upstate
shut
and
down
central
North-
New York. A lot of Newark, New Jersey, Connecticut. A lot of that. The same thing with
Maine, I
Quebec.
think.
A lot
And-
of Maine.
And
Yeah.
we give them 60% of our crude oil.
Yeah, the oil situation is very complicated. We give them crude oil, but because we can't really use it, we're not going to build a refinery in Canada. I think it's a bad idea, but that's my opinion. That being said,
Should we
you
build
have
a
to-
refinery in Canada?
It would make us a lot of money. It would put us farther back from making sure that we're safe from climate. I'll give you an example. This is the first year where we've had to evacuate a prison because of forest fires, because it has gotten that serious.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are not always as humane as we should be with people who are incarcerated, and the country needs to really fix that up. That being said, for the ability for these people to move that fast with a lot of very dangerous people, and because it's climate change, not because of guys shooting someone, that's like because of the weather, we've had to like move a very significant amount of very dangerous people. That's something we should be more thoughtful about. So building refineries is counterintuitive.
yeah.
Although it's good financially, sometimes you have to think there's other ways we can make money here.
What are those other ways?
We have, again, water. Damming is dangerous but supportive. Our manufacturing industry is very significant. We should probably be more I feel like I'm running, but I'm not. But I can't say, how people are going to navigate this, but we should be more focused on, defense in Canada and, with our other neighbors is very significant. We have a lot of oceans we
we're
should be
losing
thinking
that.
about. Well, we should be thinking about our human resources. Canada is a very diverse country with people from all over the world, people with a lot of knowledge and experience who want to contribute. And once people are here, we should be more thoughtful of ingratiating them into our support. People feel about government jobs a lot of different ways. It's a very diverse way of helping the community. Everything from employment insurance to intelligence gathering. It's a very wide net of things you can do, but it only is good when people who understand people from
Yeah.
all around the world, like
Yeah.
the country,
Yes.
can be there to do it. And when we kind of talk ourselves out of all people of color, especially children of immigrants, it's far more diverse than what it once was. But when more of us are there and more of us put that in our mind, especially folks of us who've had careers in other places who are able to come back and contribute, it's not a ton of money, but for all the shit that you complain about and you're upset about,
Yeah.
there's an ability to actually
Make
go there
change.
and see it. And be like, oh, I get why this is bad.
See behind the curtain.
The amount of things, or when you decide to complain about property taxes, work for the city, go work in a library, go work for the library and see how librarians have to be social workers for people
Yeah.
and have to navigate a very tough situation for a very diverse community of people, from homelessness to children. Being able to do that and then have your budget cut.
when you work
because
with white people,
city
most people are social workers.
yeah, in the bad way,
In the bad way. In the worst way.
because they're more like the cops and the social workers.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, the political point is go out and vote. No matter who you vote for, go on a vote compass. Who to vote for online. Figure out what you feel.
Smartvoting.ca. Put it on the screen. It's a good idea. And listen, I have a feeling. You got a feeling. Everybody's got a feeling of what politics means to them. Figure out where you are on the map. But most importantly, if you really critically analyze, is this issue that I'm upset about, was it actually a little bit better and a little bit more thought about 7 years ago before Doug Ford was here? If that idea actually generates you to go do a little bit more Googling, do a little bit more thinking about how bad that issue impacts you, then where that chip falls, that's your business.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to do that before February 27th.
Smartvoting.ca.
Smartvoting.ca.
And smartvoting.ca, will that have all the platforms?
It should have a good connection to all the platforms. Apathy is Boring is also another good website and another good program of people. There's some folks that I know over there who are pretty centered. And they're able to kind of talk about it. Operation Black Vote as well. Shout out to Velma Morgan, Jamaican. Jamaica. See, Velma, I talked about you. Velma's fantastic. She does a lot of good stuff for the black candidates, especially of all levels of government, of all parties, making sure people are
Operation
involved.
Black Vote.
Operation Black Vote Canada is very
Operation Black Vote Canada.
Correct.
.ca.
.ca.
Nice. And is there any candidate you're leaning towards?
Provincially?
Yes. I saw the debate the other night. Was it last night?
It's a tough.
Yes.
It's a tough
I think it was
debate.
last night.
Yeah.
I was leaning towards Bonnie.
okay. Let me give you the brass tacks. Let me give you the unplugged. I'm going to put this on. It's going
Mississauga,
to
what's
be.
up?
Likely be Bonnie Crombie. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you why. I can understand that when you want to reform a government after you've kicked out somebody else, you need people who are like, I don't want to be talked to. Just let me focus on this really niche thing. I need to focus on making sure the Great Lakes are clean. It's a not sexy job, but there's going to be one person who's likely going to be hired by a liberal government who's going to be like, I don't need a lot of money. I need $67,000 and I'll figure it out. I can't fix it, but I'll do all the work. That's something that likely liberal and an NDP government will do. An NDP government is going to get a little wayward sometimes. They need their issue. I have a lot of issue how they handled Sarah Jama out in Hamilton. She's a vocal Palestine supporter. I am also.
She's constantly under scrutiny.
Constantly.
Like
Constantly. And she was very, very ahead of her time by wearing it. And the fact that all these people have now come around to be like, ceasefires are good because ceasefires are important, to get to that point and then still not support her, especially as a party who's supposed to be about human rights.
But they're going to take somebody's idea and act like it was theirs.
Classic. So I have an issue with them. Normally I would vote for them provincially, but this time I am not. I have feelings about Bonnie. I don't know if she's the best leader during the Liberal leadership. I think she's quite a centrist. And I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think that's not exactly progressive. It is great.
Would you rather she leaned left?
I would like somebody who's a little bit more. I would not say left because I think
Because in America right now, that's what they're screaming is like they want.
like left, right, and center.
And she's
In America, they're screaming for more centered.
What they're screaming for is somebody who just thinks less about politics and more about fixing problems, and not fixing problems for like a select group of people. The idea of good politic, and this is what I'll leave you with, is who is likely going to help the most amount of people.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Period.
And the tunnel's not going to do it.
And the shortest amount of time as well.
No,
Not necessarily.
sometimes
It's not to the point where they just want solutions.
Stay in,
responsively,
Yeah.
Okay.
like impactfully. If somebody's going to be like, it's going to take me 20 years, but you're gonna, like, that's not feasible, right? Because you got to think critically, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, it's got to be smart, thoughtful, and you make sure if people knock on your door, ask them questions.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, what do you think about
Instead
this?
of being like, not interested.
Yeah, and if you're not interested, cool. But like, you know, not to do the high school teacher thing, but like, you know, if you're not into politics, politics is into you because it does impact you.
Yeah.
You ever drive on a street and with the snow's up? It's bad. When you, you know, an ambulance takes forever. That's bad. You go to the hospital. That's
Snowball
bad.
effect, man.
Exactly. So if a little bit of triage to break up that snowball allows everybody able to ski.
If you were to take money
analogy.
out of one sector right now, where would you put it?
Take money out of one sector
And
right
what
now?
sector would you take it out of?
That's very, very tough. Certainly the police podcast. I will say right now,
The fuck 12 pod?
you know, it's just not advised. I will say this. I would be more thoughtful. I would take money from policing in the sense that a lot of them are doing social work. A lot of them are doing risk harm reduction. A lot of
Put it
them
into the
and are
social
not
workers, like the
qualified.
actual
and
social
they didn't sign up for the job.
didn't sign
And
up.
you
Yeah.
talk to the rank and file people who are like, I want to kind of maybe help my community, as maybe misguided as sometimes
hate
that
it.
is. They're like, I didn't sign up for some
Yeah,
of
they
this
hate
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
They should be out there fighting. Like, auto theft, not at the kid level where there's like 12-year-olds stealing cars, but there's like transnational crime. Like there's guys who are paying off a lot of people to be able to
Yep.
move a lot of material to make
This
money.
should be solved.
That should be guys on Law and Order with like you're fixing big crime, not small crime and pumping your
Petty
numbers up.
things.
Instead, they're
Like,
going
you
to
should-
Malvern and breaking up an argument,
Like
hearing both sides.
It's
Nobody
just-
was hit.
It's not effective. So taking that away to make sure it's better supportive services for people is like the only way.
Okay, where would you put the money?
Mental health supports. Because if we're trying to, you got to
Yeah.
be able to support people on the streets. Transit integral. We should be making a hyperloop between Toronto and Montreal.
What would you say? I know there's a million problems. Where would you say is a good starting point for the problems we need to fix that would snowball effect in the other way, where it would lead to more
Like
positive?
positive.
As like a personal thing or like as a big G government
Both.
thing? A big G government thing that we should be really, really thoughtful is accreditation. This is like a really niche thing, so I apologize if this is turned into like politics 101. Accreditation. You know, when like the old story of like the cab driver who's got like a doctor's degree and he can't be a doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We should be better able to accredit people who have
High
qualifications
education.
from other places.
And they're coming to this
Yes,
country, and
they've come to this country.
Then
Why
we might
is it
have
that-
like actual family doctors.
Yes.
is it that a different practice?
Racism. We look at some universities' accreditation and we say,
Not
we
good
look at
enough?
some and we say, ding. So if there's an ability, and I'm not saying it's going to be solved overnight with one flick of a pen, but there's an ability to be like, all right, let's all talk amongst each other and we should all fix this. If it's about actually making sure they're Canadian qualified, quote unquote, we should be making that a much more streamlined process. Outside of that, I mean,
I seen Bonnie say something about capping foreign students at 10%.
Well, foreign students have unfortunately been sold a very bad bill of goods, Like it's a bad situation. They charge you a lot of money to come here, and they've unfortunately for a lot of schools have
Sold you a
like
dream.
sent you to like these kind of like subsidiary like sub colleges to get like fake certificates,
Yeah.
and they're only using that because Doug Ford has cut the money from universities. So instead of just making sure you can pay your money off of the old school OSAP that some of us have attributed to, I'm still paying, don't look at me, the universities had to figure out a way to pay for their shit and cover their costs. So you open up these very sexy programs, sometimes, to a very wide variety of people. And then the government was like, that's a good idea. We get more people, get some more support. We got people
Yeah.
working. COVID's happening. We got people working. Let's make the visa process a little easier for folks. And then multiply that with a couple of people who are like, ooh, a lower barrier to exploit. And companies and universities took advantage of that.
And
So
then-
cutting that back, and then now you get an explosion of like folks who are just like, these universities don't really exist. Nobody really trusts the certificates from these fake colleges.
Let's go dance at Dundas Square.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Dance at Dundas Square.
Hey, man. I'm just saying.
They're there.
That's what they're doing.
There's a certain sector.
It's not quite like Elmo costumes at times.
A lot of engineers over there. I'll say that much.
But no, needless to say, like cutting it down will at least allow to like help balance it. But you have to support that with those universities, making sure they're making their budget.
Yeah, because they said with Sheridan College, if they cut the international students, then they're going to lose so much revenue, and they had to like fire a bunch of people as well. It was like a good percentage. I don't know the exact percentage, but it was a good percentage.
There's already a few universities and colleges that have like closed. Laurentian University up in Sudbury, is I think they're close to closing, or they're kind of like looking in arrears. So it's quite detrimental to like higher education, where a lot of
But I
people
also
work
think
and
that has to
research.
do with like YouTube University. We've realized that you can learn a lot on the internet, and that these expensive colleges might not be for you,
For
and
sure.
they might not actually help you in the long run
For
to
sure.
get a career.
And you
so
have
it's
a
like,
lot
why
of
am I
people.
going to
Two things
put? Why
at
am
the
I going to
same
put
time.
this expensive thing
Yeah.
when I could probably teach it myself or figure it out in some other way?
People are realizing that relationship is king. And
Yeah.
I think that that's all that really matters these days in a lot of different areas, outside of obviously like doctors and stuff like that.
Get
but
an education. Learn something.
relationships.
Learn something from not your computer screen. Look at somebody, have an idea, and have that person
Well,
say,
a lot of
"You're
the
a
classes
fucking
are
idiot."
going online now, so you're still going to look at a good computer.
No, but
screen.
I mean, fair enough. That, touche.
Or a phone screen.
Touche.
It's Black Mirror, regardless.
Oh my God, yeah. The Zoom university stuff is really tough.
Yeah.
But like,
There's a TikTok university right now. Hillman talk.
No. There's like drama with that.
Oh yeah, there's some shit going down with it right
There's
now.
drama because they wanted to like actually monetize it and make it like a real thing.
Those people are
and
doing
people
too
are
much
like,
though, because Dr. Barlow did not intend for all of this.
Yeah.
He just wanted to do this thing for his page,
People, yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, hey, welcome to Ponytails 101. We're teaching you, like, it's just random people just
Yeah.
making their own classes now, and then trying to charge people on top of it.
Yeah.
it's like those
yeah, no.
master classes when people pay for them. They're like, what do you really learn? Are you learning from that? Are you really learning from that? Are you doing the homework?
Hey, man,
Did you do Duolingo languages? No?
Yeah,
I
I do.
should do Duolingo.
I do it.
Yeah?
I should.
Are you like, have you learned the language yet?
I stopped. I got to like 298 days.
That's
in
a lot
row,
of days.
And then I'm just like, okay.
I feel it.
I'm tired. But my
got
daughter
this.
uses Duo ABC, which is cool. So it's like for kids, teaching them how to like read and
That's really cool.
in English. But yeah, so she really loves that.
Sick. Okay, I didn't even know they had it for kids. That's
Yeah,
really
they
cool.
do.
I didn't know.
like Duo.
There's more things for kids. I didn't realize.
I
She
don't
knows
know
how to
anything
spell
for
her
kids.
name.
Not my business.
I don't know anything for kids. Not me. Thank you, brother.
Please, my
Yes.
pleasure. Please.
Appreciate you, man. We needed this because the election's coming up on the 27th. You guys need to be informed. And yeah, you guys heard the sites. Go and check out all the candidates and see what platforms they're running on.
Take the time
none of
to
them
go.
costed, by the way. At least yet. Not one,
Look at
right?
you. None of them costed.
I watched the debate. That's
Look
I
at
heard
Mark
words.
Lamont Hill over here.
MLH.
I'm so proud.
Anything going on this week for you guys?
No.
Chilling? You chilling?
Yeah.
Am I chilling? Oh, every day is the war, man. I'm glad I'm alive.
I'm gonna be in Miami tomorrow.
He's in Miami,
I'll be in
bitch.
Miami
Going
for
to Miami.
Vice City Comedy
Welcome to
Festival
Miami.
for 2 or 3 days. Gonna be very fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. I should be doing like about 6 or 7 shows. So that'll be fun. Miami is definitely someplace I wanted to go to do comedy because there's so many Jamaicans out there and so many Caribbean people, and I love Miami. I haven't been there since 2012, so
Wow.
it'll definitely be
You're a
fun.
different man now going to Miami.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Miami just doesn't excite me like it does for other people.
Me either.
Good food city.
It's just yeah. Great food, but like just the things that people
Definitely don't do the South Beach
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's so
yeah,
lame.
yeah.
You don't need to.
Like, yeah.
I might go to the
Miami,
booby
like,
trapper. Might go to the booby trapper, man. Who knows?
There's so many other
Kiki on the
like cool
river.
places that I would rather
yeah.
travel.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for that. Looking forward to it. Thank you once again for coming through.
My
Our
pleasure. Thanks for having
most repeated guest and political pundit, Gabe, in the
me.
building.
I'm glad I can still do it, you know? I don't know
I'm
who's number
Marlon,
two.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
and that was the extra gravy.
Skirt, 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 skirt.